All right. So what do we got going on today, dude? Let's see. It's Saturday. Elon's got a person coming out and saying that they had yet another of his kids. You know, we need to update each of these videos because it's like each time I do a live stream, Elon has a new child. So I don't think I can keep up with all Elon's legitimate, illegitimate children. I don't know. The jury's still out. The jury's still out on whether or not they're legitimate or not. What's happening, Frosty? What's happening, James? What part of reality are we distorting tonight? Frosty, all reality is distorted for you. You believe all the crazy shit that the Trump puts out for you. It's because you're religious, Frosty. It's because you've already been indoctrinated into the Trump cult long before you became a Trumper. Yeah, so, I mean... Kelly Anderson, what's going on? Frosty, I think you lost your membership. Frosty's no longer supporting me financially. Frosty, tell me again how Trump supporters aren't racist. After, oh, you misspelled some words? I misspelled all the words. This is your third live today. Hal Sparks, Seneca Project, and then me. So... one thing I do want to say right off the bat, because I saw He Hurts was in here, was you guys know my dude Pep Talks. Pep Talks does some reactions to my videos, which is really cool of him to shout me out. Pep Talks is a little bit of a smaller streamer. You know, you guys know I like to shout out the smaller streamers. I like Peppa Pig comes up like right away. Pep Talks TV, right? Do I have to take the... space out here? I do. This is Pep Talks TV. Frosty, welcome back. I'm now shilling for Frosty. Let's see. So you can't claim that I'm being paid by only the liberal media. I am also getting paid by a Trump supporter. All right? So, I'm not a shill. All right. That's Pep Talks TV right there. Pep Talks is super dope. I don't want to watch him watching me. I'll be honest with you guys. And I think it was this one. Let's see. I think it was here. Yeah, it's this one here. We'll play like half a second of Pep Talks. But I'm not watching him watch me, okay? But... this is Pep Talks. If you guys don't follow Pep Talks super cool dude. There is a part here, just so you guys know I'm not lying. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Pep Talks does pretty much the same thing I do. Covers videos. Obviously he covered the Trump parent-teacher conference, just like I did. So anyways, that's Pep Talks. Pep Talks shouts me out. Pep Talks watches my videos on stream, so we shout him out back, right? Swishmallow is the one who sent me the clip in the first place. Thank you, Squish. Don't forget. Okay, yeah, all right. We'll spend the first half of the rant. I won't rant so much, okay? We'll spend the first half of my rant time shouting out my lovely, lovely fellow supporters that I love so much, and my small channels that are amazing and awesome, just like me. I'm not a big channel, but we're hoping to get there one day. 21st Century Suffragettes. Let's bring Benny up, since Benny's in the chat, and Benny also shouts out 21st Century Suffragettes all the time. Okay. Let's put Benny in there. Hold on. We'll play our favorite Benny. Benny, where's it at? Hold on. We're going to play this. Okay, that's all we can play, Benny. We're going to get a copyright. So we got Benny Loco. Don't forget about Benny Loco. All right. We shout out all our small channels because I'm still there. Even if I had 250, 500,000, a million supporters, I'm still gonna be supporting all these guys. Oh, I gotta turn up the volume. Okay, hold on. Oh, because now oh, that's why the desktop audio is off. Okay. Okay, desktop audio is working, I think, on this one. Oh, okay, so here's the annoying part. I think I moved to Restream at one point or another. Okay, I might move to Restream at one point or another because it's probably easier to use than OBS, and I'm a one-man army up here. But for the time being, here you go.
That looked like somebody who eats
That's right. That's right, Benny. Benny's got arms 3 times the size of Frosty.
Like somebody who eats Nazi
Those biceps are 3 times the size of Frosty's arms. Frosty's jealous. Shout out your bunny short. You saved a litter of babies a couple of years ago and posted it. Okay, all right, hold on. We gotta calm down. Frosty, if you're good for the rest of the stream, I'll play your bunny short. Okay. If you're good for the stream, we will play the bunny short. Okay. All right. Let's see. Also, thank you for the membership, Frosty. Oh, you couldn't hear over on Restream or on Twitch? Uh-oh. I wonder what I did. I probably did something. Squishmallow, thanks for joining up on YouTube. Now that you can hear over here. Somebody go to Twitch and see if you can hear me over there now. It's probably just the audio. I'm doing a lot here. It's time to drink again. Okay? It's time to drink again. So we got desktop audio over here now. Let's play the video. Let's see if we got desktop audio.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update.
How we doing, guys?
Well, guess what? We're in week 4 of Cluster Trump 2, The Revenge.
Cluster
and just so
Trump
you know,
2.
with everything that is going on, the corruption and the criming and the lying and bullshit.
I want on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries.
How about them grocery prices? How about those the 20 to 25% egg inflation prices for the year of 2025? Egg prices are going to keep going up. It was just a video? Oh, okay. Sweet. All right. Tell me if this one's working. All right. We got thumbs up. Folks. Okay. So I'm going to drop some knowledge on you guys. Scott, I'm here for the whiskey. Your son has a flu? Dude. Everybody's got the flu right now. My whole family just had the flu. Everybody at work's got the flu. Billy or Silly of Silly and Billy has the flu. It's bad times right now. I just wanted to drop a little bit of knowledge on the egg crisis right now on you guys. So I don't know if you guys saw recently, one of the biggest egg producers in the country is being sued by Elizabeth Warren's committee, or investigated, not sued yet, being investigated by Elizabeth Warren's committee, who had investigated the same company in 2023, sued them, and won a $17 million lawsuit against them for price fixing. So one of the biggest egg producers in the country owns Land O'Lakes and Best Eggs. That's 20% of the entire egg production community. And they are currently holding pat on their hens. I guess I should be back up to here. I got to remember, I'm supposed to go back to this when it's just me talking. Okay, I'm getting better at this. Gray Pill, I need some help. What's up, Gray Pill? So when in 2015-16, when we last had our worst avian flu breakout, it took about a year to get back up to par with hen production and egg production, and this time around, it's been about 2 years, and we're still flat. as far as getting back there. Now, 41 million chickens have been asked to depart this plane. Okay, in the last 2 months, in December and January, 41 million chickens have been taken out to suppress the avian flu in the chickens. But this egg company is also not increasing their hens. Now, if you're going to be like best faith with the argument here, you could say that they're trying to do it so that way they don't have the avian flu spread throughout their flocks, and then they have to get, do the same thing many other people have, and also ask their chickens to depart this mortal coil. But there's also a very good chance that they're doing it because they want to limit egg supply to increase demand and to increase pricing. And that, of course, is price gouging. This is something, of course, Kamala Harris wanted to run on. The reason I'm telling you about this is because, of course, Donald Trump said he's going to lower the egg prices because he, in some way, thinks that the president actually has some ability to do this. I'm telling you this because at one point or another, Donald Trump is going to point his finger at this egg company. And he's going to be like, look, I was going to lower the egg prices. They stopped me. That's not how it works. Presidents have very little ability to reduce egg prices. It's an avian flu. It's egg producers. It's price gouging at the market. These are the problems. And these are problems that Kamala Harris wanted to solve by putting a price gouging ban on these companies. This is something that already exists in something like 34 states across the United States of America, but she wanted to do it on a federal level. Donald Trump is not going to do that because Donald Trump loves corporations. Donald Trump loves billionaires, and Donald Trump is not about to start delving into the pockets of those people unless that money is coming to him. So I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about that, give you guys a little bit of a heads up on that. Egg prices are supposed to continue to go up about 20 to 25%. Flu hitting humans and chickens like crazy. Yeah, well, one of the biggest things, no, you can't executive order. That's literally called price fixing. You can't put price, well, you could, okay. So you could put short-term price controls on eggs. Donald Trump will not do that, but you could put short-term price controls on eggs, and it probably wouldn't be too bad. But he's not going to do that. He loves corporations. Corporations own him. He's not going to put any price controls on that. Also, people will start calling him a communist. Well, no, they probably won't. They'll probably be like, Donald Trump's the smartest man in the world because he's doing the thing that you called Kamala a communist over. What's up, Ovi? What's happening? So here we go. I just want to let you guys know that. I wanted to give you that. Let's go back a little bit. And Titus is, when it comes to price gouging in corporations, the thing you do is you take antitrust lawsuits against them, or you investigate them. I'm sorry, not antitrust lawsuits. You investigate them using Elizabeth Warren's committee. You take them to court. You cost them tons of money by going through lawsuits. These are all things that you're not going to see any of these things. Donald Trump isn't going to reduce grocery prices. Donald Trump is not going to reduce egg prices. Donald Trump is not going to reduce your energy prices. Donald Trump is only going to continue to enrich billionaires and corporations. And at the end of the year, when you get your $200 off your taxes, you'll be like, look, though, I got more money. That's what's going to happen. Because the reality is it's not within his abilities to just reduce those things. It takes a large amount of effort through the government and regulation to reduce those things, and we are literally cutting all regulation right now. So you can't lower grocery prices and destroy government departments, government regulation, and government committees. That's the opposite of how you would reduce grocery prices.
And bullshit.
I won on
What's up,
groceries.
Unknown?
It's a very simple word, groceries. And I won an election based on that.
That is happening on an hour-by-hour basis. It's almost impossible to keep up with. But
vaccine needs eggs for the procedure. Yeah.
President Elon and President Fellon had a joint press conference at the White House where one of President Elon's closest advisors...
Frosty says, do you honestly want the president to succeed? Of course. At the end of the day, I think Donald Trump is a despicable human being. And I've put this out multiple times. I've never actively rooted for the pilot to crash the plane. Nobody wants that. But the things Donald Trump is doing right now are in no way, shape, or form for the people of America. Allowing a billionaire, the richest man in the world, to go through the government systems that hold him in check and destroy them, cut them, deregulate them, is not going to make America great again. Elon Musk, if that was George Soros right now, who is actually a better human being than Elon Musk. George Soros donated 60% of his entire fortune already to philanthropy. George Soros has something like 17 billion left of like $67 billion. So George Soros, overall, better human being than Elon Musk in the first place. Not a fan of billionaires, period. But if George Soros was in the government right now, going through and slashing, cutting, and destroying regulations and departments that are suing him, auditing him, and fining him, the right would be losing their goddamn mind. Absolutely losing their fucking mind. Elon Musk has received billions of dollars in subsidies from the government. And he is cutting U.S. aid. U.S. aid, which was established by JFK. U.S. aid, which gives the American people soft power across the globe to create alliances, trade agreements. U.S. aid is one of the most important portions of our government, and it makes up less than like 0.5% of our entire budget. Elon Musk is a techno-oligarch who is in league with people like Curtis Yarvin and Peter Thiel, who are all just giving Donald Trump money, and Donald Trump is doing exactly what he's doing in this picture. He's sitting at a desk, acting like he's in charge, when he well knows those billionaires are the people that are in charge. I get it, Frosty, you voted for your dude. Your dude ain't in charge.
Advisors may have pooped his pants. Elon's son was also there.
He's a high IQ individual.
In the last 3 weeks, our South African unelected president has sent in a team of
I'm drinking out my Grinch cup today.
prepubescent experts into the government's most sensitive department.
Shit,
searched
sorry,
and
hold on.
possibly copied 220.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Mike's my engineer. Mike, you're gonna be my production dude, okay?
President Elon and President Fellon had a joint press conference at the White House where one of President Elon's closest advisors may have pooped his
I need
pants.
a producer.
Elon's son was also there.
He's a high IQ individual.
In the last 3 weeks, our South African unelected president has sent in a team of prepubescent experts into the government's most sensitive department, searched and possibly copied 227 million Americans' information. Do you people remember when you were worried?
Yeah, exactly what he's about to say. You guys remember when all of these right-wing Republicans were howling about the Twitter files, howling about the suppression of free speech? Now Donald Trump is suing reporters. He is casting them out of the Oval Office press meetings, banning them for life because the AP chose not to use the Gulf of America, not because they didn't agree with Donald Trump's renaming of the Gulf of America, because they are international. And the rest of the world does not recognize the weird-ass things that Donald Trump does as being the things that they have to follow along with. Remember that? Remember when right-wing Republicans howled about the Twitter files and how they used to claim that big tech was the biggest enemy for us to be concerned about? Remember when we used to agree on certain things with the right? Like that the government needed to be audited. And let me say this. Left-wing people do not disagree that the government needs to be audited. We all agree that it needs to be audited by the proper people, not by the people that are being funded by the government. As I said before, If a left-wing person were to go in and start auditing departments in the government and deciding what did or did not need to be still active, the right wing would be howling right now, absolutely losing their goddamn mind that we were cutting specific to them, things that they're just taking out all the right stuff. Not the right stuff, but the right stuff. And now, MAGA Republicans who aren't conservatives, MAGA Republicans who have absconded with the Republican Party, the Conservative Party, have now decided, you know what? We like tech billionaires. You know what? It's not corrupt for a person to go and investigate themselves. You know what? We don't have any moral values left at all. As long as Donald Trump tells us something is good, it's good. And that is what's going on. That's what's going on. What's happening, Natalie? What's happening, Max? I saw you, Max.
That the vaccine had microchips and they were going to try to control you?
They did some studies. They found out that 26.4% of the people that refuse the vaccine won't take it because they believe the government is trying to track and or control them. And they know it's 24.6% because of the collected data from their cell phones.
Remember that?
So you voted against...
You remember that? You remember when your uncle, your grandfather, all of those people out there that were right-wing conservative people were like, Zuckerberg's stealing your information. They're taking our privacy. They're stealing all of our stuff. They accidentally gave one of these 22-year-olds just the other day, 2 days ago we found this out. They accidentally gave him access to like classified information. You don't hear a peep from the right on that. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. You're really concerned about having your Facebook messages seen, what you're sending to like your buddy talking about like regular shit. Remember the Patriot Act? Remember that? Remember when the right wing would just constantly talk about the Patriot Act? They're listening to our phone calls. They're going through our emails. All of those things. Yet you tell them that Elon Musk has a bunch of 20-year-olds going through files, read access, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. They saw your shit, your private information, your social security numbers, your bank accounts, and you're like, I'm good with that. That's how we know you're in a cult. That's how we know you're in a cult. No one changes the way they think overnight without good reason. You can't have the idea that you hate tech, you hate billionaires, you hate people stealing your information, and because Donald Trump tells you it's all okay, all of a sudden switch over and go, we love billionaires, we love big tech, we love social media, we don't mind that they're stealing our information. That's a cult. It's literally a fucking cult.
One of the most experienced, competent politicians we've ever had in the Oval Office. Also because eggs cost too much.
I went on groceries.
Well, just so you know,
And they're
since
gonna go
Trump's
up
been sworn in,
25%.
eggs have gone up 15% and are being limited. Fuel oil is up 6.2%. Inflation overall has
Red
risen
Note and Deep
3%.
Seek, all the
Just want
Chinese,
to point out how
China.
the last guy, Joe B., had brought inflation down from 9% to 2.5%.
China has more information about us than Elon. What are you talking about? China loves Elon. What am I talking about? Elon Musk is literally invested in China. Elon Musk moved his corporation over to China. Once again, something right-wing Republicans were absolutely freaking out about. Now they don't care. Now they don't care. Don't give a shit at all. They don't care. Why? Because Donald Trump told them not to care. Elon Musk has multiple tweets about, if you don't like transgenders, you can suck it. Tesla's a transgender company. Something changed there. You want to know what changed? His access to a man named Curtis Yarvin. His access to a person named J.D. Vance, who is bankrolled by Peter Thiel, who got $17 million, the most money ever spent on a congressional campaign. $17 million. That's what changed. Elon Musk wants to put chips in people's brains. Elon Musk wants to run the Curtis Yarvin version of techno-oligarchy or techno-libertarianism. And he wants the freedom to do it without regulation or interference of the government. And all you people that are religious are going to find out real quick how bad that is for you once they actually get control. Because Elon's not religious. Neither is Peter Thiel. Neither is Curtis Yarvin. They just tell you that they believe in the traditional family because they want you to have children so that way those fuckers can build their robots. That's why. Hold on. Oh, wait. We got super chat. We got super chat from Frosty. $5. I was a big liberal Democrat until 2016. Trump woke me up to the lies of the Democrat. Trump only ran as a Republican because it was his best path. I don't know if you want me to say something to that. I don't. Yeah. That's all just statements. Are you asking me a question? If you got to ask me the question if you're asking me a question. Elon Musk is one of the most innocent CEOs that is a Russian. Oh, incompetent. I thought you said innocent. I was like, Beetlejuice, we might have an issue. Yes, he's one of the most incompetent. Yeah. You got to put a question in there if you're asking me a question. I don't know if you're asking me a question. Ever hear of Thunderfoot or Common Sense Skeptic? They posted lengthy documentaries on Musk lawsuits and waste. No, I haven't. I don't think I've heard them. I'll check them out. People got to realize something. I mean, do you guys want to go read the thing again? Should we read the thing again? Curtis Yarvin said in 2022, April 7th, 2022, on his Substack, Gray Mirror, in the Revolution Butterfly Effect, he said, let's do a thought experiment and we'll use Donald Trump because Donald Trump wasn't running at the time. He said, what if we could get Donald Trump into office? What if we could get Donald Trump to do what Donald Trump likes to do best and just be on TV, give speeches, sign documents, go to events? Meanwhile, Donald Trump elects a CEO, the most experienced CEO. Let's get him, and he runs the country. Curtis Yarvin wrote that shit out. Everything that is happening today was written in Curtis Yarvin's Substack, including Donald Trump going to events. Where'd he go? Where was he on Super Bowl Sunday? Can anybody tell me where he was on Super Bowl Sunday? Can anybody tell me what he's done since he became the president of the United States? Whole lot of speeches, whole lot of rallies, whole lot of TV time, whole lot of golf too, though. And who has been working while that's been going on? Elon Musk. Turns out he's an executive, a CEO. Like, you guys can, like I said before, Donald Trump is just a clown in an orange suit. Donald Trump was definitely trying to drive us straight to idiocracy and still has his hands, at least one of them, on the wheel. So there's a potential that we go to idiocracy. That might be the best outcome out of a Donald Trump presidency. The best outcome for America could possibly be 4 years of Donald Trump fucking up stuff that we can fix in 4 years. Donald Trump is bred in circuses. Donald Trump is ouch my balls with GoPros, okay? But Curtis Yarvin, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, those are techno-libertarians. And they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about Trump. They only care about them, the amount of resources that they can continue to hoard, and what they can get done before the ends of their life. If you think this is fake, I'm about to say something. If you think this is fake, go Google it. Peter Thiel wants to be immortal. Peter Thiel is going to have himself cryogenically frozen, has already paid for it. These techno-billionaires are the biggest threat to America. Donald Trump, I've said this before. The difference between somebody like Donald Trump and somebody like Peter Thiel or Elon Musk is Donald Trump's just a bull in a china shop. He's going to break shit. He's going to knock shit over. He's going to say dumb shit. He's going to come up with ideas like, let's get rid of the penny because it costs 3.7 cents to make a penny. So he's like, somebody said that. Let's get rid of the penny. Donald Trump's not smart enough to figure out that if you get rid of the penny, then you have to produce more nickels. If you have to produce more nickels, nickels cost 13 cents to produce and distribute. Therefore, doubling the amount of loss that you lost from the penny. There's a reason that hasn't happened yet. Most of us actually would like the penny to go away. Most of us would like to see a lot of coins go away. But it hasn't happened because it doesn't quite make sense yet. And once again, all these Republicans used to talk about, we don't want the government in control of our money. We don't want them to have our access to our bank accounts, which they do now. By the way, you can thank Elon Musk. We don't want to have access to digital currency. You got to have cash on hand. You have to have gold. You have to have silver. Like that's the way to beat the government. When Donald Trump gets rid of the penny, then the nickel will be next, and eventually all physical money. And the government will have control of your money. Complete and total control of your money. You're literally making the things that you fear the most happen. But anyways, Donald Trump is idiocracy. And that's not great for America, but we could probably come back from that. Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, Curtis Yarvin, Mark Andreessen, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, the techno-oligarch billionaires, they're Elysium. They're the ones that are going to go up into a spaceship above the earth, knowing that climate change is real, knowing that we're the ones that can't get the fuck away, and they're going to say, you guys stay down there, and you get in the salt mines, and you get in the cobalt mines and the lithium mines, and you breathe in that air. Because we need you to do that. Because we need you to support our way of life. And then, don't forget about Russell Vought. Because Russell Vought, on the other hand, wants to take your ass to Handmaid's Tale. Like I said, Trump is a distraction, and he don't even know it yet. He's just a patsy. And the only hope for America is that these three factions eat each other. That's my hope. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. CPI. Oh, he's talking my language today. Titus is talking my language.
The last guy, Joe B., had brought inflation down from 9% to 2.5%. And since Sweet Potato Hitler has been sworn in, it's already heading up. Good game, idiots. Trump's ending departments without Congress, which is against the law. So Elon and Felon have violated the Constitution on birthright citizenship. He's pulled us out of the World Health Organization.
There's literally
the World Health Organization,
dozens
the thing that tracks
of lawsuits
deadly diseases worldwide. Guess what? We're no longer going to get that memo. We'll figure it out like last time. We'll just stack bodies in refrigerator trucks. No big. He stopped all payments for most federal assistance, for the homeless and the mentally ill. Education programs and kids' lunches. Just things that help
terrible
people
shit,
not
man.
die. I think we're going to need a lot more refrigerator trucks. You do get that the billionaires have decided that the poor people have too much. Again, the billionaires have decided the people with nothing.
Yeah. Remember when we used to agree on this? Remember when it didn't really matter what party you were from? If you were poor, if you were middle class, if you were lower middle class, you knew that ultra wealthy corporations were taking advantage of you. Remember when we used to believe that? They did a good job, didn't they? Just completely divided the shit out of us. Crazy.
Have too much. Good game, idiots. Today, the Orange Menace spoke to Putin about ending the Ukraine war.
What's happening, Danny?
Without talking to Ukraine. They discussed what Ukraine has to give up to end the war. Now, remember, Putin attacked Ukraine. Then, without talking to Zelensky, Pete Hegseth, our Secretary of Defense, accused rapist and white nationalist swimsuit model, said that we would block Ukraine being accepted into NATO. So, our president felon, who's been dealing with Russia since 1987, and the other president, Elon, who has been dealing with Russia and Putin.
Okay, I gotta ask you. So you got Trump's got accordion hands, and you got Elon's got supervillain hands. Like, dude, anybody that talks to you while doing this, like, you need to be mildly concerned, okay? That man he does this the whole time, just supervillain hands the whole fucking time. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, though. I think Elon Musk probably isn't even as scary as this kid, though. That X-kid, I don't know if you guys have seen, I've shared the 2 clips, but there's another clip of X on Elon Musk's lap during a Tucker Carlson interview, where Tucker's interviewing Elon, and little X says, at SpaceX, we gonna do whatever we want. And he says it in like the most like scary, fucked up way. Like he's like, what, 4? Like he says it like he's a 37-year-old techno oligarch already. Like he's like, my daddy says that you guys are gonna do whatever I say. Like that shit's actually scary. That kid's gonna grow up to be fucking maniacal.
For the last 2 years, have now decided that the country Putin illegally attacked can't join the one organization that would help stop World War III.
Felon or felon?
Cool. Oh, and the most ridiculous thing so far, and that is really saying something, was this administration. There's been a bill introduced in the House to buy Greenland, which isn't for sale. And in Senator Buddy Carter's bill, yeah, that's his name, Senator Buddy, he proposes to rename Greenland, and I can't believe this, Red, White, and Blue Land.
All right, and I'm just going to say this because people will go, they're just trolling you, they're just making jokes. This shit might start as jokes, but if Donald Trump is ever given the chance to do this shit, he does it. There's so many times now where MAGA Republicans have been like, I can tell you guys are just being trolled. You're just falling for it. And then Donald Trump follows through with it. You know the difference between Donald Trump joking and Donald Trump doing something? Whether or not he can. That's it. That's the only thing that stops Donald Trump from doing all the dumb, low IQ shit that Donald Trump does. I've told you guys before. I don't think that Donald Trump is some kind of supervillain, evil, malicious, crazy person. I think he's a despicable human being. But mostly, I think he's a moron. I think he has the IQ of like a 12-year-old, and it's getting worse as he gets older. Somebody around him says, we should get rid of the penny, and he's like, that's a good idea. We're going to get rid of the penny. Does not know how much a nickel costs, okay? Somebody says, we should allow Donald Trump to have a 3rd term. Donald Trump goes, it's just jokes. It's all good, unless you guys want to make it happen. And you go, he's just joking. They're just trolling. Unless he can do it. Then it's not a joke anymore. Then he does it. And this has been repeated over and over and over again. If you don't think that this low IQ buffoon of a human being would name Greenland Red, White, and Blue Land, I got a fucking bridge to sell you in Arizona. Okay? I'm sorry. I fucked it. Sorry, George Strait. I got beachfront property to sell you in Arizona. Oh. I messed up my country music reference. I feel real bad now.
We are living in the dumbest time in American history. Holy shit!
Yeah, I agree with that, Billy Juice.
I'm Christopher Titus, and this is the Armageddon Update. Red, White, and Blue Land. Like, you know, I used to think that the people that ran the government had to be smarter than us. But turns out, nope. They just have to be louder than us. Jesus Christ.
No, you got to be... No, he's wrong. It's not you got to be louder. You got to have wealth, status, and connection. And at one point or another, we actually all agreed on that shit. We actually all looked at each other and said, like, it's unfair that you have this bar of entry to get into politics. And then Donald Trump's cult leader ass came through and convinced all these moronic, low IQ Americans that, oh, look, I'm just like you, and I made it. He was never like you. He was a lobbyist before he was a politician, and now he's a politician that gets paid by lobbyists. Like, if you think that dude represents you, you have lost your damn mind. You are brainwashed to the nines.
I don't even understand. Senator Buddy? How about Senator Red and Senator Junior?
Gotta love Titus, man. All right, let's put Christopher Titus in here. What do we got going on? Are we talking about Frosty? Just talk shit to Frosty. That's what I do. Just talk shit to Frosty. Or block him. You can block him too. Oh yeah, hold on. I gotta get better at this. I gotta get better at this part. Now we're back here. Now we're back to full screen. You keep people like Frosty around so that way you can hear all the shit that they think. That's like the important part. Is like, you should never tell yourself that you don't want to hear the stuff they say. Because if you don't hear the stuff they say, then you don't know what you should be standing against, right? So, there's obviously a middle ground or a balance to everything. You don't want to be completely unaware of what the other side thinks. But at the same time, you obviously don't want to be over inundated with their opinion. And that's why we've been on subscriber only for so long. Because I've been making Trump supporters subscribe to me. So, you know, you guys got to realize something. If someone irritates you enough, just block them. But I wouldn't block them. Talk shit, man. Benny, you can talk shit. Talk shit. Like, I ain't banning you. Like, end of the day, this channel was predicated on the fact that when you come into my chat and you say some shit to me, I'm going to talk shit. Like, if you're a MAGA supporter and you come in here and you think you're getting a weak left-wing person with no backbone, you're going to get a surprise. Because I'm from the fucking trailer park. I'm from the trailer park, and I got no problem dipping to your level. You know, I'm not a Michelle Obama person. I'm not a when they go low, we go high. When you go low, I drag you into the fucking deep end. Like, and that's what you guys got to do too. We, as an entire portion of the political spectrum, like I said, I don't like parties. I don't believe in joining gangs. Had a chance to join lots of gangs when I was a kid. Didn't join none of them. Fuck a gang, I'm a posse. It comes down to we that represent the left side of the political spectrum. The people that believe in equality. The people that believe in equity. The people that believe that everyone should be taken care of. That no one should be left behind. That the ultra-wealthy corporations should pay their fair share. That Luigi should be free. You know, on the left side, you gotta learn. Like, fuck them. They want to go, then give them a go. You know, like, I don't back down from fucking nothing, from nobody. Not real life, not on no fucking YouTube channel for sure. You guys have seen me multiple times tell people, you want to put on the gloves, I'll pay for you. You go ahead and give me $1,000 in a super chat. We'll get a gym, we'll put on the gloves, and we'll go box. That's why we do that. Because the left, we need more people like Benny. We need more people like myself. We need more people like Adam, like Luke Beasley. Guys that go out and are unafraid to talk to people. Unafraid to reach down to the level of those people and say, if this is what you want to do, we're going to do it. But I guarantee you, I'm better than you'll ever be in your life. I grew up talking shit. I ain't never stopped. So, you know, that's my little rant on that. You know? Like, they've been calling y'all liberal cucks the whole fucking time, and then you called them a moron one time, and they cried like bitches. Like, you guys should know that. Like, you guys should take that as a win. You should look at that and you should say to yourself, like, man, these guys, their main dude is an insult comic who talks shit to people all the time. And the first time I call them low IQ, call them morons, call them idiots, they cry like bitches, dude. Like, that's a win for you. Keep that shit up. I'm all about kicking it while it's down, okay? Like, fucking, there ain't no reason to let them up. I'm not letting nobody back up. I did Kung Fu Unknown, but that I mostly showed up drunk to Kung Fu, so that was bad. I was the longest tenured white belt of all time. I just grew up boxing, and I grew up in a really bad place, so I grew up where physical violence was never off the table. So I grew up a lot different than most people, and the dude, every once in a while, you'll see my dude in here, Tommy Persiato. You'll see Tommy every once in a while in the chat. Tommy taught me how to box when I was a little kid, and like I said, I ain't never backed down since then. You know, Tommy's a bad dude. Tommy was just at a protest out at the because, you know, he's out there with his Hispanic, his Latino brethren. And he was out there repping because Tommy ain't scared of shit either. You know, that's the cut I'm coming from, you know? Like, end of the day, if you don't have people in your party that got a backbone, that can stand up, that can talk shit, that can, you know, that can weather the storm, then you don't really got a party. You got a bunch of loosely held together people that kind of agree with each other, but the first time a strong wind blows, they all fall over. The left, for the last 2 years I've been here, I've been saying it, and I've been loving seeing it. The left needs to have a backbone. They need to grow up here and talk shit. They need to stand up there and say, I don't believe in the same shit you believe in, and I'm willing to stand up and say it. And what we just saw with Hakeem Jeffries coming out and saying we don't have leverage, we don't have the Congress, we don't have the president, we don't have the Senate, like, what are we supposed to do? That's your job. Figure that shit out. And that's what people need to say. People need to say to people like Hakeem Jeffries, who I like, by the way. I like me some Hakeem Jeffries. But I'm not down with that bitch shit. I'm not down with Hakeem Jeffries coming up there and throwing his hands up and being like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do, man? Like, no. What you're supposed to do is grow a fucking backbone. When there's one dude blocking you from getting into the Department of Education, and there are 30 of you, you need to pick his bald, skinny, white ass up, truck him on out, move him over to the other side of the road, gently set him down, not on his head, okay? There are options. And then you walk your ass into the Department of Education. That's what you need to do. The left used to have that backbone. I remember a time when the left stood up during civil rights movements. When people were fucking with gay people, with LGBT people, and not only did you have to worry about those left-leaning people that were willing to fight for them, but you had to worry about them gay dudes putting a whooping on your ass. Some Stonewall motherfuckers came out of nowhere and stomped you out. Like, that's what you had to worry about. And it's time for the left to realize that if you want to have any voice in this conversation, then you're going to have to stand up and you have to speak with your chest. And occasionally you're going to have to do the same thing those right-wing people have been doing to you this whole fucking time. And you're going to have to get in there and you're going to have to be a bully, because that's the only thing they respect. I come from the trailer park. I speak the language. We do treat people humanely, but at times you do need to move a person. He hurts. I almost forgot. He hurts. There is a dude over on Pep Talk's channel. His name is Kurt. He does I think he does hip hop. I think he raps. His name is Kurt. He hurts. You should go over on Pep Talk's chat every once in a while and get up in there and see if you guys can do some work together. His name is Kirk, I believe. I went here. I can't find his channel right now. That'd be a bad idea to even try. All right. So anyways, let's listen to Bill Burr, Because, you know, like I said, this is where I get this from. Like, right? Is like, I love George Carlin growing up. I love Bill Burr now. I love my comedians that stand up and talk shit to people. I saw Shane Gillis call out Elon Musk the other day for being a sad sack of shit for lying about playing video games. What do you say? He goes, you can lie about video games until you're 12 and it's not weird. After 12 years old, if you still lie about being good at video games, that's weird as fuck. And for that dude to be involved in the government and doing things that, like, none of us can even, like, tell what he's doing. We don't know what the fuck he's doing in there. And the dude has such a low threshold for insecurity that he will lie about playing video games? Like, what else do you lie about then? Apparently, he also just had a kid again.
The amount of people that are struggling out there because of these billionaires.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'm going to get better at this, guys. I promise. I'm going to get better at this.
The amount of people that are struggling out there because of these billionaires, and they got us all arguing liberal and conservative. We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much money in this country, and there's so much work being done. You know,
is that too loud for you guys?
If you work a full fucking week,
it's got 13
at
now,
a job,
actually.
You should be able to pay your rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get another job and still be struggling.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad for the country, because then the kids don't see their parents and they're not getting the upbringing that they need. It's so fucking, these fucking billionaires, they need to be put down. You know, like fucking rabid dogs. They're like rabid with fucking greed and just going out and just dividing everybody.
We used to agree on that, man. That's how sad it is. Trump supporters decided to suck on the teat of the billionaire and tell themselves that Donald Trump is just like them. And you know, in 2016, you guys probably had a voice still with Donald Trump. Most Trump supporters. You probably did. You probably had a little bit, you were a little bit more vocal. Or not even that you were more vocal. You're still vocal. But you had an ability to reach Donald Trump where it mattered. He likes adoration, love. He wants to feel like he's the greatest president in the world. And Trump supporters kind of made him feel like that in 2017, 18, 19, 20. But there's one thing that Donald Trump likes a lot more than he likes you. And that's money. And Donald Trump has decided he doesn't care one bit about you. He only cares what Elon wants to do, what Peter Thiel wants to do, what Mark Andreessen wants to do. If you don't get it yet, every one of these billionaires, notice that they're all tech bros. They all want to be in charge of the future of America. Because the next industrial revolution is the internet, AI, and semiconductor production. And they want to get those contracts. That's why you have Sam Altman, who is currently being pitted against Elon Musk. That's a Curtis Yarvin thing, by the way. It's a corporate interest thing. You push two people that have big companies against each other, and then you let them fight it out to see who comes out the other end, because the Curtis Yarvins of the world believe that the best man will win that fight. That's what they're doing right now. Mark Cuban called it out. Another billionaire, but apparently one that's not interested in participating in the AI thing or whatever it is. He's not throwing in his lot yet with Donald Trump, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that he does. I think that most of these billionaires that have some, some grasp on AI or something like that, like tech, are going to be fighting for that top spot. They all want to be the first trillionaire. They all want to be in charge of the AI. They all want to be in charge of all the semiconductor production that's potentially coming back to America because of Joe Biden's 10-year plan with the CHIPS and Science Act. That's what this is all about. It's not about you. It's not about me. All of us, all we want to see, man, all we want to do is see if AI will make our lives a little bit easier so we can take a day off and have a day with our kids. That's all. We want to see if like AI will finally like take over, you know, certain menial tasks within our life and give us more time to do the things that we love. And I don't think that that's just one side. I think that Trump supporters are that side too, but they're just they're not smart enough, or they can't see far enough ahead. They can't see past the tip of their nose to the point that the people that they're putting in charge of these things have zero interest to give them those things. You're not going to Mars. They are. You're not going to have an easier life. They are. You're not going to get supported by the amount of money that is going to be made in this country by deregulating, by getting rid of government programs. You're not going to benefit from that. They are. At this point, by the way, you're still under Donald Trump's last tax plan. So if you don't like what taxes are right now, that was Donald Trump's tax plan. You're still under it. Donald Trump's next tax plan, for people that make less than $300,000, right now, most economists are claiming that if you make less than $300,000, you're going to actually pay more in taxes than you did under Trump's previous tax plan. Because you don't get to benefit from these things. They do. If you're a Trump supporter right now, you got to ask yourself, what do I think I'm going to get out of all of this cuts to regulation, all these cuts to programs? What do you think you're going to get from this? And for most of you, I'm going to guess it's more money. You think you're going to be wealthy. You're going to be taxed less. That's not how it works. They're not going to give you money. They're going to give them money. And even if they do give you money, it's going to be like $1,000 at the end of the year. So think about this for a second. Andrew Yang, Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, all of them wanted to talk about UBI. They wanted to give you $1,000 a month. And you said no. You said, we can't do that. That's communism. We can't do that. That's socialism. They wanted to give you $12,000 a year. And you said no. But you're literally selling out all the people in America, all the citizens of America, in the hopes, not the guarantee, the hopes that you're going to get $1,000 back at the end of the year. That's pretty fucking sad.
That glorious rant you just heard was from the latest episode of Bill Burr's podcast, and I've got to say, he is very quickly becoming the George Carlin of his generation, because he's consistently one of the few comedians to actually speak truth to power these days. He's punching up as opposed to punching down, and this is in spite of the fact that he has found fame and fortune for himself. He just never lost touch with regular people, apparently, and that anger that he's feeling towards billionaires is...
It's because... us gingers, the anger burns through all the bullshit. The anger burns through the brainwashing. That's why me and Bill Burr, we are simpatico. Because the anger, the annoyance, the irritation that you naturally feel from being born a ginger, the bullying, the names, the insults, all that shit that we grew up with that made us the thick-skinned, mean motherfuckers that we are today, that makes us impervious to people like Donald Trump's bullshit. That's why.
Is felt by the rest of us who lost everything so billionaires like Elon Musk could have it all. And make no mistake about it, this is a zero-sum game. He's correct to frame it that way. Billionaires are directly enriching themselves at the expense of the working class.
And we'll continue.
We're talking about modern-day robber barons who accumulated their wealth by stealing it from the rest of us. I mean, ask yourself, do you think that Jeff Bezos, who's worth an estimated $250 billion, really worked hard enough to earn that much money? Does anyone actually believe that he works harder than a single Amazon employee who takes home around $78,000 a year? Of course not. His employees generate all of the wealth for Amazon, and the executives at the top keep it for themselves, and they leave their workers with crumbs by comparison. This is theft. That's what that is. And that would be bad enough in and of itself, but to make matters worse, the working conditions are absolutely atrocious. Amazon employees are overworked to the point where they have to piss in bottles to save time and increase productivity for their bosses. And there's little that they can do because of that power imbalance. You know, they can try to form a union to increase their collective bargaining power, but Amazon responds to that oftentimes by engaging in union busting and even shuts down warehouses that unionize. This is what happened at an Amazon warehouse in Quebec. The workers voted to unionize, and then the warehouse got shut down, and then all 1,700 workers lost their jobs. Now, of course,
Donald Trump is not pro-union because he isn't pro-you. He doesn't care about you. He cared about you when he had to. He cared about Trump supporters in 2016 when the whole reason that he was running was to continue his legacy as a reality TV star. Donald Trump's brand, right before he was running for president, was declining. Don't believe me? Read the Curtis Yarvin thing. You don't have to get it from a person that you might claim is biased. Get it from the dude who thinks having Trump in the office right now is the best thing possible for him to create the largest amount of chaos. Go read his Butterfly Revolution Substack. He said it. He goes, when Trump got in office, I thought, man, this is our chance to burn it all down. I'm paraphrasing, okay? Burn it all down, because I know you fucks will come in here and be like, I read it. That's not exactly what he said. Burn it all down, cause chaos, and finally upend the government so that way they could take over. And he said, I knew immediately that wasn't going to happen. That Donald Trump was just there to try to get the Trump name stamped on more hotels. And he knew it because Trump wasn't selling his businesses, which is once again something that if Joe Biden has his son on Burisma's council, right-wing people lose their fucking mind. Lose their mind. And though I don't agree with rich people getting their kids put on into jobs that make it so other people can't get them, it's not illegal, right? But what has always been agreed upon by all of us is that the President of the United States should divest from his properties, divest from his businesses. The famous example of Jimmy Carter and his peanut farm, right? Donald Trump at this point has not divested from anything. In fact, Donald Trump has created new businesses, including a meme coin, which he rug pulled his own supporters on. Like, we had this agreement of sorts in our society that this shit was bad. And in 2016, Donald Trump ran to save his TV career and save his legacy, and he needed you guys. And you guys, at that time, still agreed. He should divest. In fact, many of you said, he did. He gave it to his kids. Bro, let up. Now he's not even acting like that. He hasn't divested from anything. And yet you're still there. But he doesn't need you now. He doesn't need Trump supporters. All he needs you to do is stay stupid. That's it. He needs you to not rise up and say, hey, you didn't lower gas prices. Hey, you didn't lower grocery prices. Hey, you didn't cut my energy bill in half. Hey, you took away my Medicaid. Hey, you said you weren't going to touch Social Security, and now you're talking about getting rid of people off Social Security. He needs you to not do that. That's it. He just needs you to stay brainwashed and quiet. Because the people that he actually wants to be happy are the billionaires that are behind him putting money in his pocket. And he's getting older every day. All the shit you guys said about Joe Biden, you're going to be saying it about Donald Trump real soon. Real soon. Prosty, got to go. Have a good night, guys. Played my short. I'll play your short or your rabbit. Later.
course, Amazon claims that this wasn't because of the
guys,
union, but we all know that that's complete bullshit. They shut down that warehouse because they wanted to send a message to all the other workers.
Let people get to you.
Unionize, and this is going to be your fate too. You will lose your job if you do that. And they even set up this dynamic where they actually pit workers against each other, where bosses try to root out potential union activity by encouraging workers to turn.
And that's another Curtis Yarvin thing. Like I said, they believe that we need to start creating competition between states like corporations create competition between chains.
Turn on each other and rat out their coworkers in order to pressure them that they have to do that to save their own jobs. And this is not conjecture. When I worked at Walmart, on the first day of my job at orientation, they showed us an anti-union video and taught us what to look out for, certain signs that our coworkers might be unionizing. You know, if one of them, for example, was inexplicably more friendly or talkative, that could be a sign that they're trying to form a union and you should be suspicious of.
And something that you guys should be aware of, I'm going to have this talk with that Clay Risen dude here in about a month about the rise of, or the use of McCarthyism in today's politics, is that, like in Texas, right? They have the heartbeat bill or whatever, where a person, a private citizen, can sue another citizen for either helping with a person getting an abortion or abetting or whatever, becoming an accomplice to a person being able to get an abortion out of state. They can sue them for up to $10,000. So it's reporting on your neighbor. That's McCarthyism. You now have these ICE hotlines where it's like if you think that somebody in your community's an illegal immigrant, you can call this hotline and have them come. That's McCarthyism. There's within the government right now, they have programs, the Doge programs, to call hotlines and report anybody that is participating in a culture of DEI. That's McCarthyism. Everything that you see happening right now are them pitting regular people against other people to do their dirty work for them, just like McCarthy did. And guess who was Donald Trump's political mentor? Roy Cohn. Roy Cohn was the protege of McCarthy. So you have McCarthy, you have his protege Roy Cohn, you have Roy Cohn, who was Fred Trump got Roy Cohn to teach Donald Trump how to be involved in politics. Obviously, he wasn't a politician at the time, but he had wanted to be, as we saw in the early 90s, I think is when his first time he wanted to run. It's McCarthyism. And they're using it against you. They're using your own fear, anger, and hatred because you're scared, because you feel bad, because you're lower middle class and your dollar doesn't go as far as it used to. They're using the fact that you and your significant other have to work, if not just the jobs you have to, but also another job on top of that just to pay your rent. They're using the fact that you have no time to be with your children. And the way they're using that is by using fear of the other and saying, hey, look, these are the people stealing you from you. It's not us. We're just some really cool billionaires. If it wasn't for us, guys, there'd be no trickle down. You guys would have things way worse if we took our ball and went home, which is complete and utter bullshit. Go back to Theodore Roosevelt. Go back to when America was actually taking these robber barons to task and taxing them at 93%. That's when the middle class in America was the strongest, and that's when America was actually the wealthiest. That's because we held them accountable. Let's see. Somebody. Fan. What's happening, Fan? We keep having Amazon trucks crashing into power lines on my street. They're in such a hurry. Amazon cost 31 days of electricity in 4 years. Jesus Christ, Fan. Thanks for the $5, dude. Good to see you, Fan. And right now, if you look at anything on Amazon, everything has a really long delivery date, right? There's very little things that are actually getting primed. I have friends that work in UPS. I know that at least where he works, they're laying people off, and he's having to work 12 hours a day. This is not the normal time that they work 12 hours a day. Normally, they work 8 hours a day. All of these companies are getting ready for what is about to happen. They are all cutting labor. They are all cutting expenses. And that's because they know we're about to enter into a time of what is quite possibly the worst economic depression since 1929. But it doesn't have to be that way. People can stand up and use their voice, get out and protest, call their congressmen, fucking show up at their offices. Show up at their offices and say, you're not doing enough for me. You are saying you have no leverage. What did I elect you for then? Like that, people have to get engaged.
Of them.
Uh-oh. Oh, that was painful. That's not a good commercial.
I promise you, this is a very common practice because these billionaires are that fucking greedy.
Is Agoff here?
And there's never been a time in modern history where the greed has been so in our faces. We're in an era of income and wealth inequality that has surpassed the Gilded Age.
Yeah, exactly.
And even though they have it all the money, all the power, they bought off almost all of our politicians, that is still not enough for them. In fact, one billionaire just made the greatest investment of all time, Elon Musk. He donated more than $200 million to Donald Trump's campaign.
Yep.
And now he's probably going to propel himself to trillionaire status by hollowing out the government agencies that are supposed to be regulating him. As More Perfect Union points out, Doge and Trump have gone after and weakened or even halted enforcement at least 11 federal agencies which have been investigating Musk's companies. The agencies have...
And ask yourself, why are 11 federal agencies investigating Elon Musk? He said it before the election. He said, Tucker Carlson asked him, he goes, what's going to happen to you? What's going to happen to you if Kamala wins? And he laughed and he was like, probably nothing good. It's probably going to be really bad. He wasn't talking about the fact that he supported Donald Trump. He was talking about the fact that there was ongoing investigations into both of his companies, if not the other one as well, Boring, right? Like, that's what he was scared of. He wasn't scared of Kamala Harris being mad at him for supporting Trump. If people wanted to do something to all of these people, they would have did it during the Biden administration. None of these people received any of those repercussions because the Democrats, for as many faults and flaws as some of our Democratic politicians can have, generally do stand on business and say, we need to follow the letter of the law, we have to go through the investigations, we need to get the evidence, and we need to then hold them accountable through the proper channels. That's what they were doing, and that's what was about to happen to Elon Musk, and that's why Elon Musk had to make sure that Donald Trump won. Because people keep saying, well, Elon flipped from going left to right. That's because the left was not, they weren't allowing him to invest in them because they knew if they created that type of tie to him, they then would have to go along with whatever he wanted to do, right? So he chose Trump. Look at what Elon posted for years. Tesla is a pro-LGBT company. Said he was pro-climate change, or that he believed in climate change. He talked about liberal things, talked about love is the answer, all those things. Then all of a sudden, he switched up. Bring in two different things here. You've got Curtis Yarvin's plan to use the CEO to get into the government, disrupt it, destroy it, burn it down. That's happening right now. And the fact that he was being investigated by people in the Biden administration that knew he was fucking some shit up. That knew he was willing to cut corners and put regular everyday citizens' lives at risk to advance his technology so he could be the coolest fucking guy in the world, so he could have the Super Nintendo and everybody would come to his house. That's why. That's why he flipped from the left to the right so quickly. Because Trump is, you can buy Trump.
Have at least 32 continuing investigations pending complaints or enforcement actions into Musk's 6 companies. Now, the New York Times put together a more comprehensive breakdown of all the specific actions taken to shield Musk from accountability. For example, Trump crippled the National Labor Relations Board by firing top officials. I mean, this agency was investigating 2 companies owned by Elon Musk for alleged worker rights violations, but they're no longer able to reach a quorum, which means that they can't do anything to investigate Elon Musk. The agency has been brought to a standstill, and conveniently, they're not even defending themselves in court against the lawsuit by Elon Musk and other billionaires to rule that the agency itself is unconstitutional altogether. But there's also the FEC, which was looking into campaign finance violations of Elon Musk. Trump tried to remove the chairwoman to shield Musk from another lawsuit. Moreover, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was looking into complaints lobbed at Tesla, and they were also overseeing a deal between Visa and Twitter. And Elon Musk just announced that he unilaterally killed that agency too. And of course,
that's insane. That's insane. Like, the fact that he was being investigated and then he put an end to these departments is insane. And look, for anybody out there that's like a Trump supporter that's like, bro, it's just because he's on the right and he supported Trump. Take Eric Adams, for example. I actually don't have a lot of problems with the things that I know about that Eric Adams did, right? When I say I don't have a problem with it, I mean he should be held accountable through the law because that's what he was supposed to do. He was not supposed to take gifts from the Turkish government. But like the level of what he did, was it like crazy out of this world? Was it like Bob Menendez style? No, it doesn't seem like it was. But he took an oath. He's supposed to not take those gifts. He took them. He should be held accountable. Right now, he is pledging loyalty to Donald Trump and to Homan and saying, like, whatever you guys need, I'll make it happen. Just make sure I don't get indicted. Make sure those corruption charges get dropped. And they're going to do it for him because they are corrupt. He is participating in corruption to get corruption charges dropped. Just like Elon is participating in corruption to stop departments that were literally investigating him and going to hold him accountable for certain things that he did against average everyday citizens. He cut those departments. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's left and right. If today someone came out, Hakeem Jeffries, we'll use that because he recently had no spine. If today Hakeem Jeffries came out and they started saying, oh, he has all these corruption, he's been being paid off by Russia, he's been paid off by China, whatever it is, right? First of all, the first thing I think was like, wow, that's crazy. And then if all of a sudden Hakeem Jeffries started saying, my Democratic friends over here, they're not my friends anymore, Trump was right, all these people are corrupt, all I'm looking for is to get out of this, let me get a pardon. That's corruption. It doesn't matter what side it's on. It only matters that what the person is doing is fucking corrupt.
There's also USAID, the first agency that Musk targeted, and as David Sirota points out, that agency's inspector general was also investigating Elon Musk, but the agency, as you now know, has been gutted, and the inspector general has been illegally fired by Donald Trump without the 30-day notice he's required by law to give. And this brazenly self-serving endeavor is being done.
And you need to ask yourself, why? Why would he knowingly break that rule? Because it's a pretty easy rule to follow, right? You just wait the 30 days, you fire him, you're completely doing it legally. It's because they understand how our government works. This is all in the Curtis Yarvin shit. They know that within the first 100 to 180 days of a president's tenure, they need to do the most damage that they possibly can to our government before the lawsuits get in, before Letitia James and the 18 attorney generals tell them to stop. They have run rampant through 11 departments because they know they need to get all of that information now. They need to do all of that damage now, and they need it to be all clogged up in the system for the next year. That's why 2 years from now, or a year from now, the next midterms are incredibly important. And we're going to see one of two things. Or actually, we're probably going to see two actual things, not one of two things. We're going to see two things happen. One, the same thing that happened with all the voter rolls. Pay attention to that. You're going to see the same thing that happened with people being purged from voter rolls that were African American, that were women, that were LGBT, people that were purged from these rolls, right? those people, you're going to once again see these midterms look the same way our presidential election did, okay? So we need to constantly be awake and talking to our Congress people and saying, like, I think that this is going to happen, and I think that we need to stop this. I think that you guys need to stop this because we're the ones getting fucked by all this. The second thing that we're going to see happen is that they're going to run through all of these different departments. They're going to run through all of this different government shit. They're going to burn it all down. They're going to have people compete against each other. They're going to have people calling against each other because they want to create the maximum amount of chaos so that way you're distracted when it comes time for those midterms to happen because they don't want to lose power. They want to hold on to it for as long as possible because if they can get a Republican House and Congress for the last 4 years or the total of the 4 years, the last 2 years, then they can guarantee that it doesn't matter. As Trump said, we won't need your vote anymore. They want it to get to a point where 4 years from now, it doesn't matter if a Democrat runs. They're not going to have a chance.
Out in the open. And Elon Musk has the audacity to insult the intelligence of the American people and tell us that he's doing all of this for us when he's obviously acting in his own self-interest. Now, a lot of Americans are stupid enough to believe that, but not all of them. In fact, not even most of them. Because most polls show Americans don't want an unelected billionaire meddling in government agencies to the benefit of his multiple corporations. But Trump has reiterated that there's no corruption to be seen here and assured the public that Musk is policing his own conflicts of interest. In fact, we're being told that Elon Musk can't even have conflicts of interest. It's just not possible.
If you have received billions of dollars in contracts from the Pentagon and billions of dollars. The president's directing you to look into the Department of Defense. Is that
we
a
definitely need
conflict
to
of
do
interest?
and are going to do at the president's request.
Does that present a conflict of interest for you?
No, because you'd have to look at the individual contract and say, first of all, I'm not the one, filing the contract. It's people at SpaceX or someone who will be putting for the contract. And I'd like to say, if you see any contract where where it was awarded to SpaceX and it wasn't by far the best value for money for the taxpayer, let me know, because every one of them was.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that settles it then, right? The world's richest man, who also happens to be a compulsive liar and a Nazi, says that he's giving taxpayers a good deal, so it must be true. Listen, things are so bad that I honestly miss the days when they would lie better. Do you know what I mean? Like, they would at least put in a little bit more effort to convince us to not believe our lying eyes so as to not be as patronizing, but these days, they're not even bothering to try. He didn't Sig Heil everyone. He was just telling the crowd that his heart goes out to them. Dude, this isn't an unconstitutional power grab. It's an attempt to restore democracy. And that's literally what he told reporters this is.
So the...
yeah, something Cajun just said. Did you hear that if a woman got married and her name isn't the same on a birth certificate, women will have will have to have a valid birth certificate to be able to vote? Yes. So the reason that I am the way I am about a lot of this stuff is because at one point or another, everything that I believe now was much closer to what MAGA people believe, right? I'm from the trailer park. So, like, I believed a lot in conspiracy theories. I believed a lot in, like, really reductive thought. And this is, I believe, like, one of the biggest problems in America is reductive thought. It's just a joke. It's, like... Take voter ID, for example. Voter ID just makes sense, right? We just want people that are from here voting, not people. You don't like people buying votes, right? Well, they buy illegal votes, bro. Oh, and like, to the more uneducated version of me, the more reductive version of me, that made sense. I went, yeah, man, like, you got to show your ID. Like, that just makes sense to show ID. But every single thing that is posited to you in politics is much more complex and complicated than just, wow, you're right about that. That does seem crazy. When you get into these laws that they're putting into effect, they don't have any type of out for, say, a woman that recently got divorced and doesn't have her maiden name on the birth certificate. They don't have laws for like Native Americans that don't have their birth certificate. They don't have laws to potentially help these, people that are minorities that don't have vehicles. Yeah, I know it. Oh, you fucking saying the fucking minority don't have vehicles. Shut the fuck up. I grew up poor. Yeah, a lot of fucking poor motherfuckers don't have vehicles. Okay? One of the worst parts about getting a job is getting to your job when you're poor because you don't have a fucking vehicle. You like how I argue with myself? Because I fucking know Trump supporters. You fucking damn minorities don't have cars, bro. She's fucking, god damn it. All of that stuff is so much more complex than just saying, oh, yeah, of course. It's just like the same way they'll get you to say, isn't what happened to Lake and Riley, wasn't that bad? Well, yeah, of course it's bad. Do you think that those people should just be allowed to be in the country when they've committed crimes and they could possibly do it to your child? Well, no, I don't think that should happen. Well, then, the best way to get rid of all that is to just start deporting people. Well, who are we deporting? Only the criminals. Don't worry, only the criminals. And of course, the reality of that is that of all the people that they've deported, over 50% of the people that they deported had no criminal record. Of all the people that they deported, of the lower 50%, a certain percentage of that 50%, the only criminal record they had was like moving violations. And the percentage of people that they actually have deported that have like a legit gnarly criminal record is fucking minuscule. Because you can't reduce it down to immigrants are bad and they commit all the bad crimes. But you can if you're a MAGA supporter. Because low IQ thought processes are just like right up their alley. They just, and I only, you know what? It's not even just MAGA. I'll be honest with you. Like I have people that I talk to on a regular basis that aren't MAGA, that aren't conservative, that also make really poor arguments on the left that are extremely reductive. And I go, have you ever even looked at somebody will say, I hate Joe Biden. Oh, do you? Okay. Can you tell me some things that Joe Biden did that you disagreed with? It's always Israel Hamas. I go, okay. I can get with you on that. Let's have a moment of agreement. I think some of his foreign policy was bad. And I think some of it was genuinely horrific. But can we talk about some of the good things he did? No, like you can't make me think that he did anything good. And it's because that's hard work. It's exhausting to be in politics. It's actually really exhausting to be in politics because you have to know a lot about everything. We just recently had this farmer, right? Conservative farmer. We were going to watch the video last week, but I never got to it because I talked too much. So you had this conservative farmer. And he went on TikTok and he was like, I'm going to lose my farm because I voted for Trump because I answered a 17-question questionnaire and it told me I should vote for Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. Most likely this is a fucking questionnaire that was paid for by a Republican think tank that told him that he should vote for Trump. He didn't realize that the $120,000 loan that he had gotten, which is for doing things that are environmentally friendly, right? If you agree to do things in a certain way, the government will actually pay for a farmer to put in irrigation and all these things, and he had spent $80,000 of the money of the $120,000 already. And he doesn't have that money because Trump froze all those funds. Trump said he was going to freeze all those funds. Project 2025 said they were going to freeze all those funds. Other farmers were like, dude, you didn't know that? And he's like, no, I'm going to lose my farm now. And the thing about it is he said this. He goes, people are like kind of shitting on me and saying, fuck around and find out. He's like, I'm not a political person. I didn't know whether or not I should vote for Trump or Kamala. I did the questionnaire. It told me to vote for it. Yeah, that was stupid. Whatever. He goes, but I work 17 hours a day. He goes, I don't have time to research policy. Being in politics is exhausting because if you really want to have an opinion on any of these things, whether it's the Israel-Hamas conflict, the Ukraine conflict, whether or not it's immigrants being deported in our immigration system, whether or not it's our voting system, or whether or not we should have the electoral college, All of these things take an immense amount of time, research, and understanding, and you have to be constantly capable of saying to yourself, I believe something, and now I've read something that might make it wrong. It's really exhausting, and to be honest with you, it makes our system really difficult to manage. And so you have all these Trump supporters that just want to work on vibes. They just want things to be just like so easy to choose. And when you try to pull the Socratic method on them and go, okay, well, hold on. What if we accidentally deported people that are here working? Well, I don't care about those people. Well, you don't care about, like, let's say like a 6-year-old kid that, is going to be deported back to Mexico and, possibly have become a victim of human trafficking. You don't care about that? Oh, I don't want to talk. Like, that's not going to, like, they don't want to talk about it. And that goes for both sides. Because politics are exhausting. My wife's watching right now going,
at a high level, if you say, what is the goal of Dojo?
Yeah, I saw the older farmer reached out to him.
A significant part of the presidency is to restore...
Is Pep Talks in here? What's up,
democracy.
Pep Talks?
This may seem like, well, are we in a
shouted
democracy?
You out at the start there, Pep Talks.
Okay, we'd have to...
I got to stop for 1 second, then we're going to go back on this because I love this part. I absolutely fucking love this part. Pep Talks. I know you got a dude named Kirk over there that likes... I think he spits rhymes, right? My dude, He Hurts, who's in chat right here, makes beats. So I think we need to somehow introduce them to each other. We're gonna start a fucking music conglomerate. That's what we're doing. Look, Elon's doing the evil villain hands right now. He's doing the evil villain hands right now. The man is literally telling you that he's an evil villain. God damn it. If y'all don't know, Pep Talks, if you weren't here at the beginning, Pep Talks is super fucking awesome. Pep Talks reviews some of my videos. Pep Talks is funny. Pep Talks has some great fucking political opinions. So make sure to go over there and hit up Pep Talks. And Pep Talks is also on Twitch right now. Thank you so much. Because I need people over on Twitch. I think I have like 47 subscribers on Twitch. If you're on Twitch and you're in my YouTube subscriber group, please go to Twitch and subscribe. Just so, I don't know. I need more than 47 subscribers on Twitch. I have not been good about being on Twitch.
It's a good deal, so it must be true. Listen, things are so bad that I honestly miss the days when they would lie better. Do you know what I mean? Like, they would at least put in a little bit more effort to convince us to not believe our lying eyes,
what up, Rob?
To not be as patronizing. But these days,
Cheyenne,
they're not even bothering to
Cheyenne?
try. He didn't Sig Heil everyone. He was just telling the crowd that his heart goes out to them. This isn't an unconstitutional power grab. It's an attempt to restore democracy. And that's literally what he told reporters this is.
So,
By the way, Curtis Yarvin hates democracy. Curtis Yarvin believes in monarchy, and one of Curtis Yarvin's famous quotes is, America needs to get over its fear of dictatorship. And there is a direct line between Curtis Yarvin, Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance, Donald Trump, and Elon Musk. When they say that they're restoring democracy, they're fucking lying to you. They hate democracy. They hate democracy like Aristotle hated pure democracy. Because you're not in a democracy. You're in a representative democracy, and it's actually quite possibly the best democracy that you can have. It's a democracy that doesn't allow every single fucking moron out there to just decide what is going to happen in the country. And for the really fucking moronic people that are listening and are really mad that I said that, I mean that shit. Aristotle predicted 2,000 years ago that if you allow pure democracy where every single person gets to determine what we do in every aspect of our life, you will end up with a clusterfuck of shitty laws that don't coincide with each other. He believed, and this is well before the establishment of America, obviously, in a mixture called polity that led, it's right behind me, that's politics right behind me, from Aristotle. He believed that something like a constitution, and I'm paraphrasing, something like a constitution could create a foundation for where representatives could be voted for by people, and the aristocracy would be the people that made the laws. So when you talk about aristocracy, you talk about experts. So when you talk about OSHA, you're talking about people that are experts in work safety, creating regulation laws, something that Vivek cries about nonstop. There's these people that we never elected that are writing these regulations and these laws, and they got to go. You know why they want them to go? Because they hate democracy. They want a monarchy because they're the people with the most money. They want a monarchy because they would be the noble class. They want a monarchy because you have no fucking chance in a monarchy.
At a high level, if you say, what is the goal of Doge
What is
and I think a significant part of the presidency is to restore
He heard she got to go over and talk to Kirk over
this may seem like,
Pep
are we in a
Talks
democracy?
channel,
Well, if
'cause
you don't have
I
a
think he
feedback
spits
loop, okay,
rounds.
we'd have
Pretty
to,
sure he spits
if you
Is that the Illuminati hand sign to you?
tell you gravitas can be difficult.
I'm going full conspiracy
The
theorist.
extent
Fuck
to
it.
which
Let's
this is
go.
Orwellian can never be overstated. Like, they have completely inverted the truth. Up is down, left is right, and they expect us to actually buy this horseshit. And I'm sorry,
today.
why the fuck is your kid at a press conference with you? Are you that starved for attention, Elon Musk?
Yes,
Could
he
you not
is.
afford a nanny so as to at least have this veneer of seriousness with our fucking government? Oh, and if you're wondering why, by the way, the president was sitting there like a cuck in a chair, well, it's because he just signed an executive order compelling agencies to cooperate with the illegal rat fucking that this...
Hold on, I'm about to argue with the... Oh, wait, no, Fan's agreeing with me. I was like, oh, I'm going to have to argue with Fan on this one. Fan, thank you for the $5. Let's see if I can click the goddamn heart. Apparently I can't. Thank you for the $5, Fan. Pure democracy doesn't work because we let the mentally deficient vote. I'm not talking about mental handicaps, but the attitude of ignorance is bliss. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Morons. Moron, the actual definition of moron, the reason I use the word moron so much is the actual definition is low IQ. A person with low IQ. The reason that pure democracy doesn't work is, yes, because if every single person gets to vote on every single law, then you're going to have people like, let's say, well, we just saw it, right? 51% of our country decides that that Trump's supposed to be, or actually it was like 49.7% or whatever the fuck it was, decides that Donald Trump, because he's charismatic, should be the president of the United States. Well, you get that. And if he burns down the country, well, that's okay because, hey, it's democracy. No big deal, guys. And that's actually what Aristotle claimed. Aristotle claimed that if people took back too much of the power from the aristocracy, they would eventually be led astray by a charismatic ringleader, by a circus leader. And that's what happened. It's crazy to sit here and talk about Aristotle and the things that he actually predicted about the predicament that we are in right now. There is a balance between the two. You should always have healthy skepticism of your government. There is corruption in our government. There are people that are wasteful in our government. But it is not to the point that you should burn everything down and start all over again. But like I said, they're not going to start all over again. They're going to start a new system in which you're their bitch. This is my problem constantly with the conspiracy theorists, right? Is that I've actually had so many conversations with people that are in my family and people outside of my family that were viewers that send me emails and shit, right? And they'll go, bro, the this is before Trump got elected. Bro, the corporations, the billionaires, they're trying to take over. They're trying. And I'm like, yeah, 100%. And they're like, it's just fucked up the way that they're trying to get into the pockets of our politicians and corrupt them. And I'm like, yeah, we need to get money out of politics for sure. And they go, yeah, and they're putting robots in the vaccines. And I'm like, no, no, God damn it. We were so close. And it's the same thing when somebody says, do you believe politicians are corrupt? I'm like, yeah, there's corrupt politicians. They're like, no, all politicians are corrupt. Like, no, that's not true. It's reductive. It's what Fan is saying. The mentally deficient amongst us want to reduce things to an ignorance is bliss level where they say, Bro, all politicians are corrupt, bro. Like, we just got to burn it down. What comes after that, you fucking moron? What comes after burning it down? Are there any examples in history? I bet there's a couple, but you ain't going to read the fucking book, so it doesn't matter. Like, people got to realize everything is balance. There are people in government that are good people, like Jamie Raskin, like Katie Porter, like Bernie Sanders. People that genuinely do care about you. People that have very little net worth, and the only net worth that they have is because they fucking wrote a book, okay? And then there are people that are in our government, like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, that are highly fucking corrupt. For sure. It's a balance. It's never like these extremes that people want to believe that it is. It's never actually that. Well, it might be soon, though.
This billionaire Nazi donor is doing. Cool. Now,
yeah,
I want to be clear,
people that hate all
what
cops,
Musk is doing isn't just bad because it's illegal and because of the various conflicts of interest.
Yes,
it's also bad because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Neither does Donald Trump. For example, there's even talk of abolishing the FDIC, which was an agency that was created during the Great Depression. And to be clear, getting rid of this agency could put our entire banking system at risk. Not to mention, Musk is also trying to line item veto payments in the Treasury that were already appropriated by Congress. That could threaten the full faith and credit of the United States. Yep. So, I mean, things are really bad. And these morons couldn't care less if they destroy the country or crash the economy because they're only in it for themselves. Yep. Everyone should be insulted by the fact that they're robbing us and lying to us at the same time. They're trying to convince us that it's not what it looks like when it is. And I want to restate that point again. They are robbing us, not figuratively, not metaphorically, literally.
Actually,
all of these cuts and austerity at our expense is being done to finance another massive tax cut for the rich. Let me show you what I mean. Brian Tyler Cohen points out, and there it is, Republicans have proposed a $4 trillion debt limit increase. This is necessary.
By the way, that's the exact same amount that Trump had in debt in his first 2 years in office before COVID as well. Donald Trump increased the budget deficit by, I think, like 7.9 trillion. And I think that economists said over the next decade, it's going to actually be like 8.3. So within the first 4 years, or the first 2 years of his presidency, because of his tax cuts, he had already added $4 trillion to the debt due to the things that he did for COVID. After that, in the last 2 years, or last, year, 8 months, a year, he added another $4 trillion pretty much at that point as well. A little bit less than 4.
Necessary to pass sweeping tax cuts for oligarchs like Elon Musk. Now, at the same time, as More Perfect Union points out, House Republicans have released their budget resolution. They're aiming to cut Medicaid by at least $880 billion and cut SNAP by at least 20%. This means people are going to starve. And as David Dayen put it, they want to take food and medicine away from poor people and give that money to billionaires instead. And please don't think that your Social Security is safe either, because Elon Musk is already using the same justification Republicans always use to gut social safety net programs by claiming that they're rife with fraud and abuse and should thus be targeted. Now, keep in mind, he presented zero evidence for this claim.
So that's what I was going to say earlier, is that when they say something like, oh, hey guys, guess what? We just recognize that there's a bunch of illegal, undocumented people on Social Security. You can't get Social Security if you're an undocumented immigrant. That's actually it's impossible to do that. But the reason they're saying that is because they're queuing their excuse. They're preloading the excuse for why certain people are going to end up losing Social Security, because they know if it doesn't happen to you, you don't give a fuck. Okay? And I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking about the people that support them. That's always been the biggest difference between the left and the right. The left actually cares about people. The right only cares about themselves. And they know that the right doesn't give a fuck. If it doesn't happen to them, it's not happening. If it doesn't happen to them, there's all kinds of excuses for why it's okay. They're going to use the excuse that certain people shouldn't have been on Social Security the whole time. They're going to find lots of these people. It's going to be crazy. They're going to find so many people that shouldn't be on Social Security. Wow, it was just rampant, because that's part of what they need to sell for the narrative. They need the narrative to be USAID is rampant with corruption. Not just a little bit. Notice this is something that Trump has always done with his language. This is something that Elon as well always does with his language. It's never, it was pretty bad. It's always, it was a disaster. It's never, well, you know, we found some things and we're going to fix them. It's always, we were close to the edge. It was about to be destruction. Because they know that that type of language appeals to people that are constantly under the effects of fear, anger, and hatred. And that is all of MAGA. Whether they are left-wing people that were scared of anti-vax and big government, or it was right-wing people that are afraid of the barbarians at the gate, every one of these people are ruled by the words that inspire fear, anger, and hatred in them, and they know that. So they're going to say, man, there were so many people, rampant waste, corruption, fraud, and Social Security. And when you see somebody on X that comes out and goes, yo, I was on Social Security and I got cut, and hey, I voted for Trump, and I'm not, like, don't clip that. Actually clip it. I voted for Trump, and now I lost my Social Security. Guys, who can I talk to get my Social Security back? They're going to be like, oh, that's just him. It's just the one person. Don't worry, guys, because there's going to be legions of people that are incapable of speaking up or making their voice heard, because social media is just over inundated with super loud voices. A lot of people out there aren't going to be heard when they lose their benefits, and that's fucking sad. Fan says, we're still the same animals that crawled out of the trees and started growing grain. Our diets have changed, not our behaviors. We don't know what hot means until we get burnt. Yes, 100%. What's that? My boss always talks about it. It's like we're trying to digest a completely insane amount of information on a brain that's still used to going out and foraging for berries. Like, that's, I'm paraphrasing, but that's pretty much what it means. But that's like, if you guys ever heard, I know you guys have heard me say it. I say the words, we are overstimulated and undereducated. That's exactly what I mean, is that our bandwidth is not large enough to take in the amount of short form content that we consistently take in. I don't think long form content is big as a problem, because it's like, it's, in my opinion, more easy to digest because you just have a longer portion of time to kind of like make it all right. But when you're constantly scrolling through TikToks or shorts or any of those things, and it's like 15-second like clips about why you should be mad at your government, or you're scrolling on Facebook or Twitter and you're looking at nothing but memes about, you know, how the immigrants are bad people, like that overstimulates your brain, and you're undereducated to the topic because you've never actually gotten any type of real information from these memes or these short form content, and you become overstimulated and undereducated, and that's because of exactly what Fan just said. Beetlejuice says, the only scam with entitlements is how healthcare corps will try to scam cost care from Medicaid and Medicare. Yes, like I said, it's balance, right? Golf Marine's here. What up, Golf Marine? You didn't live in Slab City? Yeah, I lived in Slab City by the Salton Sea. Yes, I lived in Slab City. That's where I was taken from my mom for a certain amount of time because my foot, I went to school with one shoe on. Yeah, it's a long story. We probably shouldn't start that. But yeah, yes, I lived in Slab City for a little bit of my life. I was poor, like very, very poor. What Beetlejuice said is true. It's the balance. This is like what I said. For all my lefties out there that are fighting with these right-wing people about Elon Musk right now, and the right-wing, their narrative, because they're a bunch of fucking NPCs. So their narrative right now is, the left just wants to, like someone's looking into fraud. They don't like that. Guess what that means? That means they're committing the fraud. Like, that's their like narrative right now, is if you call them out for Elon Musk, you know, rampaging through our U.S. Treasury and stealing people's information, well, it's because you have something to hide. This is the rebuttal to that. I don't believe that there is a single person on the left or on the right that makes less than, let's say, $150,000, $250,000 a year that doesn't want to see our government audited. All of us do. We all know that there's waste in our government. We all know that there is corruption in our government. And we all want somebody to go in there and do something about it. Where we disagree with right-wing people right now is that we don't think the world's richest man that has multiple fucking contracts through SpaceX, Tesla, and probably Boring as well. I don't know if that's true. A guy who is being investigated by 11 departments in our government should be the person that is going through with a bunch of 19 to 24-year-olds that, as somebody pointed out earlier, are all hackers and coders and establishing private servers to download our information onto them, should be the person to do it. We agree that the government should be audited. We disagree that fucking Elon Musk should be the one doing it. If you told me that Donald Trump had hired a third-party auditing, like, professional, not the fucking cyber ninjas, okay, not somebody MTG knew, but if he had hired a professional company that we could verify was going to go into our government, look at waste, I'd be like, holy fuck, he actually did something good. My mind would be blown. I'd be like, God damn, I'm going to have to get on fucking stream and tell these guys that, like, I think Donald Trump did something he was supposed to do and they're going to fucking hate me. But you guys know, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to tell you what I feel. If he did that, I would 100% say he did something good. But he didn't do something good. He let a corrupt fucking richest man in the world rampage through our government because they want to burn it down and restart it in their own image. It's fucking nuts.
Claim and immediately revealed his true intention because a right-wing influencer responded to his tweet about this, saying that these programs are the largest.
Hold on, Tia, let me, I'll pop that. I gotta, like, where does that pop up?
Will there be some pain? Yes.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'll put it over here. In fact, let's just watch that because I've been ranting so long. This poor video. Poor Mike over here is getting no screen time. Sorry, Mike. Here, let me put this in here real quick. Okay, we're gonna put, dude, already with the hands, Tia. Already with the hands, Tia. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Okay, hold on. Let me just put this in here. If you guys would like to watch the rest of this video, as always, feel free to go watch it. You're not beholden to me. I fucking love all you guys for being here. I love that all of you guys are fucking the greatest people ever to even come on here and watch me and, like, enjoy my content. If you want to go watch the rest of that Mike video, feel free. But that's the video, and that's Humanist Report. If you're not subscribed to Humanist Report, I don't agree with everything Mike says. And you shouldn't agree with anything, or not anything. You shouldn't agree with everything that I say either. Everybody should have their own brains, their own thoughts. Even when you do agree with some of my stuff, I mean, there should probably be some type of nuance to, like, the differences between my opinion and your opinion. I don't agree with everything that Mike believes over on the Humanist Report, but I support his channel because I think that we have the same fundamental values. And I think that that's really the glue that binds us, or the glue that should bind us and doesn't currently. But I think that really we got to get to a point where we recognize that the people around us believe in equal rights for everybody, that believe in supporting the trans homies out there, for the people that believe that undocumented immigrants that are living here and aren't, criminals that are, like, just trying to, like, get away from fucking human trafficking in their home countries and, like, just want to make a better way of life and contribute like they deserve to be here. People that believe that the 4-day work week should be a thing, the fact that corporate billionaires should have to fucking pay their fair share. Like, if we can agree on all those fundamental values, like, I can disagree with you on some other shit, dude. Like, it's okay. I can disagree with that. Like, that's all right. So that's just, I think that that's something that, like, all of us have to be better about. We have to learn to have conversations with each other within our own political spectrum where we disagree on certain things, but fundamentally we agree on what the future of America should be. Like, we got to get to that point, guys. All right, what is this? Kelly, thank you. Thank you for finding my Twitch channel. I appreciate you so much. I can't do House Sparks right now. I got to make like a portion of the show where you guys can just like send me videos and we'll watch whatever you guys want me to. Do you know that there's a Discord? If you guys don't know, here, I'm going to do it again. There is a Discord where you guys can send videos to me in the Discord. And suggest videos. I haven't been very good about like doing anything about it, but where is my sir? How do I invite people to my sir? I try to like cram so much in this like 3 hours that I never stop talking, and I feel weird anytime I slow down because I'm just trying to get it all out. Okay, so this is a Discord. All of you should join the Discord. You should join a community and create something. You really... Okay, let me say it this way. I'm not saying this for me. I'm saying this for you. Like, if you want to know the way that you fight back against what is going on right now, it's by creating a cohesive community of people that may disagree on small things, but have the same fundamental values. Anybody that's on my Discord can tell you, I pop in and out. I'm not on there often. The Discord is for you guys. It's your community to share videos. And for me to every once in a while come in there, say some dumb shit, and then pop out because I'm super fucking busy. But join the Discord. Join not just my Discord. Join Brian Tyler Gohan's. Join David Packman's. Join people's Discords and create communities with other like-minded people, because there is nothing more defeating than people thinking that their way of thinking is not shared. There's nothing more lonely, more solitary than believing that. I don't know. Does 21st century suffragettes? Do you guys have a Discord, Benny? Does Diane have a Discord over there? Tubby says Discord is the land of keyboard warriors. Yeah, but dude, like, why? That's what I'm saying though. Is why are people so scared of engaging? Like, who gives a shit? Block them. Like, I'm telling you, when you take the attitude that I'm not going to join a community because there might be somebody there that acts like an asshole, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's like saying I don't want to go outside because there could be somebody out there that's mean. Yeah. There's fucking assholes everywhere. Sometimes I'm one of them. The left cripples itself by saying, I'm not going to engage with these morons. I engage with them. I just shit on them. And every once in a while I ban them because it's fun. I'll be honest with you guys. There was somebody in my chat earlier. Who was it? Not in my chat, in one of my comments. And I don't think I had even banned the guy before, but he was like, I knew I had said something back to his dipshit ass. And he goes, he banned me because I fact checked him, and I banned him. Because I thought it was funny. All right? Like, don't let him steal your happiness, man. Don't let them steal your happiness. When those fuckers come in here and they talk shit to you, you talk shit right back to them. Don't fucking let them steal your happiness. Don't let them make you less vocal. Don't let them shout you down. Don't let them bully you into like being a complacent or complicit actor. Fucking, somebody want to be a keyboard warrior? Then get keyboard warriored right back up in their fucking face. Just get right back at it. You guys do have a Discord? Link it, Diane. You guys can link your Discord in my chat as often as you want. Like I said, it's about creating community. It's about creating this connection that is severely weak. I don't know. What's a good word for it? It's a really weak connection on the left. Here, let's pop over into this real quick before we go into this video. I'm going to use my special powers to make me big again, like a fucking mushroom straight up out of Mario Brothers, so that way I can give my analogy that I like to give to people. Ginger Thor with my little band hammer. Goddamn right. This is the right. This is the right. This is the left. And I'm not saying my hands, I'm saying political parties. On the right, you can have essay accusations, you can be racist, you can be a PDF file, you can be all of those things, and there is nothing that will make this do this. On the left, you can just disagree on one thing, and the left goes like this. Fucking everybody's mad, everybody's angry at each other, and they're fucking as far apart as possible. All over one like small disagreement or a criticism. The left doesn't need to be this. You don't need to be in a cult like MAGA is in a cult. But you need to be a little bit closer. You need to be willing to create connections with people that don't agree 1,000% with everything you believe. You need to be able to create connections with people that believe in 90%, 95% of the things that you believe, because that's how you make something happen. One of the things I have constantly talked about was how left-wing content creators will take things that happen in other left-wing content creators, their personal lives, and like just blast it all across the internet because it gets clicks and views, because their subscribers will go up if they say, oh, I hate this this content creator. You have, Hassan versus Destiny, and Vosh versus Destiny, and Hassan versus Ethan Klein from H3H3. And you have all of these people that are against each other on the left. Do me a favor. Tell me one group of people on the right now that are content creators that are currently making content about each other. Is Charlie Kirk making content about Tim Pool? Is Tim Pool making content about Benny Johnson? Is Jordan Peterson making content about Ben Shapiro? I guess you could say Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. That one will work. Those two, they were going at it. But the prevalence on the left of that type of content versus the prevalence of it on the right is like night and day. You got to start joining communities. And you got to start finding common ground with each other, or else there is no coming back. If you can't find common ground with people, when you say things like, I think all LGBT people should be treated the same, and they're like, same. And you're like, man, it'd be great if we had like a 4-day work week and I can spend more time with my kids. And they're like, same. And you're like, dude, billionaires like fucking need to pay their fair share. And they're like, same. And then you're like, dude, I really wish that Kamala would have won the election. And you're like, fuck you. She was a prosecutor. She put people in jail for weed, bro. First of all, you're a moron because she didn't. And I debunked that multiple times. But second of all, you're literally the fucking problem. You got to be able to still find, like, I talk to people on the left that say that. There's people on the left that go, she put 1,900 people in jail while she was a district attorney. And I go, hold on. Can I talk to you about that for a second? Actually, over 7 years, 1,900 people were tried in her district by her district attorneys. Out of that 1,900 people, 45 of them went to prison. 45 in 7 years went to prison, and every one of them had felony convictions of something that was more than smoking weed. In fact, the majority of people that were arrested for marijuana in her district as a district attorney didn't do any jail time at all. And even ones that ended up doing a small amount of county jail time were referred to a program that is now used across the country because it reduced recidivism by 50%. She is actually much, much harder on felony gun charges, which you should be for. And people will go, well, but she was a prosecutor still, and she, I can't get behind a prosecutor for a president. You can't get behind somebody that put child predators in prison. You can't get behind somebody that put people that committed domestic violence in prison. You can't get behind somebody that put people that carjacked people or murdered people in prison. Oh, I can't. She denied that black man an appeal. He could have had this blood test. It could have got. You mean the guy that was on his 13th appeal? That the only witness that was there during the crime has a very vivid memory of that man murdering his entire family when he was just a child? And even then, she still said, when the New York Times printed a story about it, giving a distinctly different point of view than the witnesses, that she said that she felt bad and that he should get another try at it, and he got another try at it, and he was denied it for the 13th time. So all I'm saying is, we can have these conversations with each other. We can. And we got to not get mad at each other. I've literally had that exact conversation I just had, fictionally on camera with you guys, with friends of mine. And we're still friends. And we still believe in the same thing. We still have the same fundamental values. And the left has to get better at that. Yeah, it's like exactly what Beto just said. The anger generator. It's like the whole I hate anyone in law enforcement argument. Yeah. Not every cop is bad. Are there bad cops? Yeah. 100% there's bad cops. I've encountered them. But are there good cops? I'm related to one. And he's a good person. I'm related to a couple of them. And they're good people. They mean well. Not everybody's bad. You can't reduce it, right? All right. I've talked enough. I'm going to remember. I'm going to do the magic button. Magic button. Boom. Look at that. Actually did it right this time. I'm getting better, guys. We're going to watch Tia. Was this you, Tia, that told me to do this?
Will there be some pain? Yes. Maybe and maybe not. But it will all be worth the price that must be paid.
It's giving. Some of you may die. But that is a sacrifice.
100%.
That
he's just saying it straight to their faces, too, dude. Like, Donald Trump ain't talking to me and you. He knows that he ain't getting no love from us. He's saying this to Trump supporters. When he says there's going to be a price to pay, he's talking directly to Trump supporters. The Trump supporters think he's talking to liberals, dude. He's not talking to liberals. He knows it's a lost cause to talk to people on the left. He's talking to you, Trump supporters. He's telling you shit's about to be bad for you.
I am willing to make.
Will there be some pain? Yes. Maybe and maybe not. But it will all be worth the price that must be paid.
Benny, I
It's
didn't know
giving.
that.
Some of you may die. But that is a sacrifice that I am willing to make.
Will there be...
It's funny, but it's sad. It's so sad. All right, let's see. Let's watch the Joe Rogan thing. I was trying to do all comedians, and I got all serious instead. I'm sorry, guys. I was trying to have a funnier show, and you know what happens is I open the viewership to everybody, and then then Trump supporters come in, and I start because I have to fucking go at them, so I get more serious. It's a lot easier for me to make jokes, just have a good time when it's just subscribers only. But we have 3 or 4 Trump supporters come through, I get all serious because I'm I will shit on you. I make jokes, but I also know some shit. All right, so this is the Joe Rogan Elon suckfest experience with Kyle Kulinski. Unknown. So Unknown says, be careful playing videos upon request. I'm worried MAGAs will try to get you banned by playing bad vids. Yeah, no, I click them over in a separate window so I can look at them because one of my family members will send me shit. He's not trying to get me banned, but he laughs at some shit that will get me banned. And specifically like copyright stuff like that too. I also have to check it. So like certain music, even like Benny's earlier video, I have to be careful with the first one because it has a song in it. So yeah, there's just certain things that can get you copyright strikes. But I click it over in the window first.
Joe Rogan's show over the past year or two has become the Coddle the Robber Barons hour. He seemingly can't go a month without bringing on some billionaire, oligarch, robber baron criminal.
Yeah, but that's because it's like, it assuages his ego. I mean, to be 100% with you, like, I legit think that. I think that he doesn't have access to the Jonathan Haidts anymore. He doesn't have access to Steven Pinker anymore. He doesn't have access to Neil deGrasse Tyson, probably Bill Burr anymore. I'd be really surprised to see Bill Burr go on his show nowadays. So like the level of guests that he has left, like Brian Cox probably is never going to go on his show ever again. Like all the like intelligent people, you're never going to see him on his show anymore, right? And so the only people that are willing to go on his show are all these like really hardcore right-wing people. And then also like the billionaires, which they're not specifically right-wing people. They're buying the right wing to push their narrative. They're more like libertarian, which libertarian is very conservative. But like that's the type of people he's going to get now. And it's them. And then like he'll have some of his comedian friends come on. Like Shane Gillis will still go on there. I wonder how long that's going to last, because Shane Gillis, in my opinion, is actually a pretty good dude. I've watched quite a few times. Like I just watched the one the other day where he shit on Martin Shkreli for being a terrible person for doing all that shit with the AIDS medications. And he shit on Elon for lying about the video game thing and said he was a weirdo and said he was like super awkward. So I don't know. Maybe even Shane Gillis might not be going on those. It's going to be like just Brendan Schaub and those type of guys. Well, I don't know. I don't think Brendan Schaub goes on anymore either, right? He's lost so many people that just aren't willing to go on anymore. So it's like his only guests now are these like techno oligarch billionaires. And I think that assuages his ego. It makes him feel good that these people like are hanging out with him. Got to carve a roast. Good job, Benny.
He had Mark Zuckerberg on. He had Peter Thiel on. He had
hold on,
Elon Musk.
Quick. I've got I got to get rid of Discord because it's going to beep in my ear. There you go.
On. He had Mark Andreessen on. He loves to bring in
Kelly.
These mega wealthy elites.
That's what I'm talking about.
For them to pretend together.
Yeah, Burr was
bro,
clowning now.
We're against the elites, bro. We're against the elites. We're against the establishment here on the Joe Rogan Robber Baron Experience, bro. And it's just, at this point, it's beyond ridiculous. It's like humiliating to see this happen on a daily basis. Well, one of the other things you'll notice, at this point, I don't know how anybody watches this, if I'm being honest with you. At this point, it's like the old appeal, the old charm of the Joe Rogan Experience is so dead and gone, it's laughable.
Yeah.
Because his show now, half the time, at least.
And for anybody, like, I know a lot of you guys don't like Rogan, and I don't like Rogan anymore, but a lot of guys never liked Rogan, right? Well, I honestly admit, I enjoyed Joe Rogan's show for many years. I loved seeing Neil deGrasse Tyson on there. Brian Cox is a physicist that I went and saw in person and give a lecture on physics, on black holes, because of watching the Joe Rogan show. There was a point in time where Joe Rogan, I don't want to, like, it's going to sound wrong, but he knew his place. Like, he would just kind of use the Socratic method and, like, ask questions about things. And there was even shows where he'd stand up like Candace Owens about climate change. And, you know, like I said, the Neil deGrasse Tyson shows, Jonathan Haidt shows, the Steven Pinker shows. Like, all of those shows were, like, really, really good shows because it was mostly them speaking and him just asking, like, really basic questions that most people would ask. So, like, I know a lot of people are like, there was never a good time for Rogan, but I actually disagree with that. I think that there was a portion of time where Rogan's podcasts were legit. Like, they were really good podcasts. And, like, I actually I found a lot of really smart intellectual people. Rhonda Patrick is another one of the people that I really liked. I know that she's kind of changed her positions on COVID a couple times, but she was one of the first people that like backed Rogan down on the COVID vaccination thing and was like, yeah, like sunlight's really important in people's lives, exercise is really important in people's lives, but like the vaccination's safe and effective, and like people should take it. Like she's super dope. Like there was so many different people in those early podcasts that were like literally like life-changing people for me. Actually, like I don't think that I would have my want to like investigate as much of this type of information if it wasn't for like finding the Jonathan Haidts and the Steven Pinkers and the rest of those guys, the Brian Coxes and Neil deGrasse Tysons, if it wasn't for that. So I just wanted to say that because I think that it's important to show the difference between what Rogan was before and what he is now, because I think that that's like, it's really a microcosm of what's happening with our culture. Like the breaking of our culture that happened during COVID and all these people like losing their mind and legit going crazy. I think that like you can look at what happened with Rogan and see like it happened in real time, what happened to a lot of these people. Some of them are our own family, some of them are friends. Like he's a prime example of it.
Is the Elon Musk suckfest
Rogan
experience. Like it just is. It like meat riding Elon 24/7. It's like he's never heard a single argument against anything Elon is doing.
You. Yeah,
he
Brian
does
Cox
this
is brilliant.
Really beta cuck thing where he's like, bro, my puny brain could never live up to the amazing big brain of Elon Musk. Oh, he's such a mega genius. I don't even feel human when I'm near him because he's just so smart. Oh, Elon, can I give you a hand job?
Yeah,
here's what
that's
it is,
what changed,
right?
dude.
Well, unfortunately, I have some examples for you here. I got to try to calm down as I watch this because my blood is going to be boiling. My blood pressure is going to absolutely spike.
Oh, no, this is
to give myself
bad.
a fucking aneurysm on air watching this. But here, let's go through it.
What I worry about is how much this is where I get mad at the media for presenting this like, this is Hitler, we're having it notched up to 11 for the past 8 years. And now you've got this, because he was put in, it's almost like that energy has been transferred to Elon now. Because now, did you see the Elon protests? They're protesting Elon. They're literally standing out there with signs that say, arrest Elon Musk.
Listen, I guarantee it's organized.
Oh, Jesus. We haven't had a commercial in so long that surprised me. Dope game. I like it.
Bro,
Elon now. Because now, did you see the Elon protests? They're protesting Elon. They're literally standing out there with signs that say, arrest Elon Musk.
Listen, I guarantee it's organized.
That's what he said. I guarantee it's organized. Dude, it's the broken brain. Everything's a conspiracy. Everything's a conspiracy. Like, he doesn't mean like, some groups got together and were like, fuck Elon Musk, let's go protest him because he's doing bad shit. When he says, I guarantee it's organized, he's like, dude, the FBI is probably there. It's probably Antifa. Like, yeah, well, Antifa is there because they're anti-fascist and he's a fucking fascist. Yeah, they would be there. But it's like, no, like, they're being paid off by George Soros. It's like everything is a fucking conspiracy. Yeah, those old-ass ladies that were out there holding those signs and chanting, no, Elon, go. Like, yeah, dude, those are government shills. George Soros went down to the local knitting club and was like, yo, you 12 old-ass ladies show up down there and I'll make sure each of you get $1 billion. Like, come on, man. Like, that's how you know these people are sick. Like, that's how you know they're mentally ill, is because they're fucking broken and there's nothing in their life that is ever just like could possibly be just some normal thing that's happening that people are just protesting because Elon Musk is doing a bunch of fucking crazy shit behind the scenes in our government. Like, no, that couldn't be why people are protesting. It couldn't possibly be because an unqualified person is running rampant through our government system, quite possibly destroying the social security system that these people exist off of. Nah, that's not it. It's definitely George Soros.
Bro, the protests against Elon can't be organic. I like Elon.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna jump off a bridge, homie.
Yeah, I'm with you, dog.
Fucking bridge.
Me and Kyle. Where you at, Kyle?
It's like
I'll be there.
Never heard anybody explain it to them why there's tremendous anger at Elon. Nobody's okay. Here, I'll try to.
Hold on, before we get there, Kyle, Beetlejuice just said something too. It's like the organized shit they pulled in Greenland. Yeah, it's like everything they say is a fucking confession. It's like everything they say is, and I think that's probably why they're so fucking insecure about it. I don't even think it's that they don't believe it. I think they genuinely believe it because they do it. They fucking paid those poor fucking Greenland homeless people or whatever in fucking meals to go out there and stand there with MAGA hats on. So they're like, we do it. They gotta be doing it, right? Like, there's no way these people actually like believe in this whole like take care of each other shit, right? Like, that's fucking insane to think. Like, I know we have to go get people to help us because, you know, Don Jr. is the least likable person to ever meet, and he brought the second least likable person, Charlie Kirk, with him. They got to be doing the same thing, right? Like, I think they legit don't even fucking, they think that it's actually happening. I think they believe it.
Break it down for you as simple as possible. Here's the way our government works, Joe and random woman. The House passes a bill, the Senate passes a bill, the president signs it, that's it. The funds go to the Treasury, the Treasury gives out the payments. That's it. That's what we have in our constitutional Republican representative democracy. It's called the power of the purse. That's how it works. What Elon Musk has done is, as the wealthiest robber baron in the world, he gave over $250 million to Trump to help get him elected.
Yep.
Rank corruption. Then Trump said, hey, here's a fake government agency called Doge. And then when Trump got in office, Elon immediately went to the Treasury Department and illegally hacked into the system, can get everybody's data, everybody's social security number, everybody's bank account. And he also illegally hacked into other government agencies and started deleting programs he doesn't like, deleting agencies he doesn't like, all wildly illegal and wildly unconstitutional.
Yep.
In a scenario where what he's doing is legal, it would have to be Congress passes a bill that says, hey, here are the specific agencies that you're allowed to audit. Here's the specific kind of payments you're allowed to say are fraud or abuse and you can get rid of. And we're granting you access to do that. That would be legal. But Congress didn't do that. There is no bill authorizing him to do it. It doesn't matter that President Trump says, I support him doing it. It's still wildly illegal. That's not the way the system works. Congress has a say. The courts have a say, which is why every single court that's looked at this so far has said, hey, man, you got to stop.
And that's the flaw that they exposed in the system. I think that people need to make sure that that fact doesn't go over their head. Curtis Yarvin knew about this flaw in the system. They exposed the flaw in our legal system, or I'm sorry, in our executive system. God damn it, our government. In our government, let me just say our government. They exposed a flaw in our government in the way that is run by the fact that our checks and balances involve lawsuits, the judicial branch. And they realized that if they can run rampant in that first period, like I said earlier, the reason that he fired that guy, even though he could have just waited the 30 days and then done it legally, was because it was best to fire him now while Elon's doing everything he's doing, because then there's no guardrail, there's no boundary for him to be held back by. He's capable of just running rampant through that department and doing a bunch of shit, and the only check or balance to that is to file lawsuits against him, which doesn't stop him, A, immediately, and B, for the long term until those lawsuits make it all the way through court. That's something that every person really 100% needs to get stuck in their head, is that this is not something that it could be more than a one-off. And you know what? If you're a Democrat, you should also be taking notice. And when you get in office next time, remember what they did. Because one of the things the Democrats are fucking horrifically bad at is playing their game. They always want to be the moral high ground people. They always want to be like, no, we're the people that play by the rules. We got to keep things safe. Anytime somebody steps out of line on the left and does something that's even like semi-bad, like fucking talk shit about somebody, or is like, oh, okay, well, I'll just use this loophole just like they did, the left goes crazy and they're like, no, that's not us. We gotta keep things. If we do it and they do it, then everything goes off the rails. Well, the problem with that mentality is if they do it and you don't do it, then things just go the way they want it to. Even if it doesn't go off the rails, it just goes their way. So everybody needs to get that in their head that what they're doing right now, they're doing it intentionally. They know that the only thing that can stop them are judges, and they know how long it takes them for them to do it. So they're using the time they have while those lawsuits are being put in effect to cause as much damage and steal as much information as possible.
And it's not just, there are Obama judges who said that, but there's also George W. Bush judges who said that. There's also Trump judges who said that. Are they all like, do they all have Trump derangement syndrome, guys? These Trump-appointed judges who are saying this is illegal? Bro, you're just like, you just don't understand Elon's genius, bro.
Yeah, sorry to hear that, fan. People have to understand. We have small differences.
What am I supposed to do with these people, bro? What am I supposed to do with these people?
And again, big things in common.
Do they have any idea the actual stuff that Elon is doing, the actual payments he's freezing, the actual impacts of that? Just one example. They made a big deal of this USAID thing. Because of Elon freezing the payments, there's $100 million in food that's sitting in ports that is currently
rotting. I think it's like $500 million, isn't it?
And the Inspector General came out and said,
million?
hey,
I thought
bro,
it was way more than that.
All this food is going to waste because you illegally froze it. And as a result of that, how many tens of thousands of people are going to go hungry, are not going to get that food? Would you rather have it sit there and rot, or would you rather let it out? Right? Again, if you want to stop the food shipments, pass a bill in Congress that says we're done giving out food for USAID. But they didn't do that. Oh my God, here we go.
And once again, the reason they did that, because like the genuine way to go about looking through USAID and determining what like should be kept and what shouldn't would be to audit it, go through the process, find what you believe is wasteful, and then, work through Congress to get those things changed. But they don't want to do that. They want to burn it down. They want chaos. Chaos is the answer. This is what they want. Because we all know that for the most part, if you had $500 million or $100 million, whichever it is, sitting in the bay, waiting to go, most likely what would happen in our government was we would say something like, okay, we don't want to continue doing that, but let's send that. We'll send that food, and then we'll stop. We'll put an end to that. Now, mind you, the cascading effect to that is that then farmers within our own country, that the government buys products from these farmers to send to other countries to take care of their poor, their famine, will then lose money and perhaps lose their farms as well, because just like last time when Trump was elected, he bankrupts farmers because, and I legit believe this, he doesn't understand the repercussions of the things that he does. And I know a lot of you guys are like, yeah, he does. Fuck him, he's evil. I do not believe that Donald Trump has spent more than 2 seconds thinking about the repercussions of the things that he does. I believe Donald Trump, just like when he pardoned the 1,500 people just en masse, that he does it because he's lazy, because he doesn't want anything to do with actual real governing, and because he just doesn't really give a shit what happens to other people. So farmers are going to get adversely affected by this decision with USAID as well, because the government usually buys farms products and then sends them overseas to get soft power through good faith capital with other countries. There's so many bad things that are going to happen from stopping USAID that normal everyday people won't recognize in their day-to-day life because it doesn't affect them. And they're going to be like, actually, what Trump did was not that bad. But if you're a farmer, you're going to be like, this is fucked. If you're a person that knows anything about politics and about how foreign aid works and soft power works and how good faith capital works, there's no such thing as good faith capitalism, I don't think. Good faith capital works. If you know anything about those things, you're going to notice like all of the shit that happens when somebody makes a really bad decision and doesn't know what the fuck it actually means.
Organized by the same people that are going to lose a shitload of money based on all these discoveries at Doge.
Diane Russell has a Discord.
Bro.
Diane
the
Russell,
protests are organized by the people who have a financial interest in keeping like USA going,
Discord anytime you want.
Joe, my precious, sweet little Joe. Have you seen this? At least 11 federal agencies targeted by the Trump-Musk firings and cuts have more than 32 continuing investigations, pending complaints, or enforcement actions into Mr. Musk's 6 companies. He is dismantling and defunding and eliminating government agencies that cut into his profits because they hold him accountable. The CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau.
So did you know that some of the biggest market gains don't happen during the day, but actually overnight?
He said, rest in peace, CFPB. He's killing it. Well, the CFPB regulates Elon Musk. Elon Musk just made a deal with Visa to make Twitter financial processing.
And don't forget, they got rid of Lena Khan. There's not a lot of heroes in politics. There's not a lot of people that, like, in politics, you're like, wow, that person was fucking cool. Like Bernie. Bernie's about it, okay? There are others, but obviously I'm exaggerating. But Lena Khan was a fucking a worker for people. Lena Khan was like doing the Lord's work, stopping mergers between huge fucking companies, creating antitrust lawsuits against Meta, Google, Amazon. Like, you wonder why these people put billions or millions of dollars into Donald Trump's pocket? Because Biden's administration was allowing Lena Khan to go fucking to town on their wallet books for taking advantage of everyday citizens. And people hate Joe Biden. People hate Joe Biden. Yet there has never been a president there has not been a president within the last 30 years that has had a chair that went to fucking work like Lena Khan did. People were claiming that Google was in bed with Joe Biden and they were stopping the Trump assassination attempts from being found on search bars and all that shit, all while Lena Khan was suing the shit out of Google and won, by the way, not allowed in the browser game for the next 5 years. Well, maybe that's probably actually going to be tossed out, right? That's going to be tossed out, just like Eric Adams' corruption charges, right? All that shit goes out the window. That's probably why Google was in on it. It's probably why Google was good with it. Because they're probably going to get that shit tossed out. It probably doesn't even exist anymore. But Lena Khan was actually doing work for people. Once again, I fucking hate people, man. I do. It's like you finally get somebody that's doing something for everyday people. The thing that people complain about their whole fucking life. No one represents us, bro. They're all corrupt. We just want somebody that represents us. You fucking voted for the person that got rid of the one person that was doing things for you, that was returning billions of dollars to average everyday fucking Americans. You guys just fucking voted her out. That's so crazy. And you literally voted in a dude that fucking is doing the exact opposite and then crushed the organization that she was using to get your money back. I fucking hate people. All right, anyways. I'm getting the Kyle Kulinski right now.
System also, so the CFPB would regulate him. He killed the agency that's supposed to regulate him.
What's up, Sicko? So I don't think I said hi.
The monetary concern is literally the exact opposite of what he's saying. You know who's out in the streets who are furious at Elon Musk? Some of the 200 million Americans who were saved by the Consumer Financial Protection Agency, who were defrauded by a bank and they got a check in the mail because that agency was looking out for them. That's who's protesting Elon Musk.
If you look at what Doge is uncovering, what they're uncovering with this USAID stuff, a lot of that stuff was organizing through NGOs protests. They organized
my God. He literally thinks the protests against Elon Musk are astroturfed. Because who could act?
Yeah, I told you. The thing he shared the other day, Elon Musk shared this thing the other day that was like, look, they were actually like, what would he say? Like that they were making, they were paying a company to create disinformation like Operation Mockingbird. And he linked the website information to it, and the people that were linked to it were a company that literally does like cyber defense against misinformation and stuff like that. And the title line, he's like, look at it. It says right there, they were creating misinformation or whatever it is. The title of it is the defense against, or whatever it is. I'm paraphrasing, defense against misinformation. We should look it up. I should look it up. I'm getting tired. But the dude is like spreading misinformation about a government program meant to defend against misinformation. And the number of people that were in the comments that were like Joe Roganing it, they're like, bro, it's fucking crazy. Like, oh my God, they were doing all these crazy things. And then there's like 2 comments where people are like, here's a link to the website. Here's exactly what the program was. Here's what they did. None of that has anything to do. It's about like stopping misinformation. And Joe Rogan just up there talking like he's like, dude, I got the sauce. He's a QAnon. He's a conspiracy theorist now.
Actually be against the complete dismantling of the Department of Education, which is one of the things Elon's doing. Who could be against totally dismantling the anti-scam police, the CFPB? That's what he's doing.
Say hi to Kelly, my bitch,
Who could be against freezing payments for HIV medication for children? That's
you sent me a message on Discord? That. Thank you for the $2, fan.
I'm at a loss, bro. I'm at a loss. Here, we got more.
That's fucking amazing. And then this other thing about Elon. Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you.
And this is actually where, once again, I disagree with the people that say that Elon Musk is stealing their money, right? Like he wants to get a hold of all this stuff to get more money. I actually disagree with that because, like I said, when you look at Curtis Yarvin, when you look at Peter Thiel, when you look at J.D. Vance, and you look at Elon Musk and their connections, it's not about money. It's about power. It's about authority. It's about people being owned by corporations. It's about billionaires owning the future of America. It's about multiple billionaires involved in techno oligarchy that want to be at the forefront of the use of AI, that want to be at the forefront of the semiconductor production that comes back to America. They want to be the people that get the contracts. They want to be the people that are capable of influencing, how the energy grid is set up and how we're going to use nuclear power, because they're talking about using nuclear power, which actually I'm for nuclear power, by the way. I don't believe it's for money at all. I actually think people on the left that are like, he's just trying to steal more money, enrich himself, get wealthier. I don't think that's it at all. I think it's authority, and I think it's power, and I think it's control of the future.
He's not going to steal your money. I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is he's a super genius that's been fucked with.
Bro, why would you think
he's
the world's richest man,
I should play that conversation. I wonder if I can find it. Let's see if we can find this right now. Yeah, he's stealing data. Exactly, Perry. Exactly. Yeah.
Hi.
Not paying for premium on this account.
Racy for an ultra? Don't forget.
That's why I start making more money. Okay. So this is his Twitter Spaces conversation. And you should show this to any jackass that thinks that that he's a super genius. Okay? Anybody that thinks he's a super genius, show him this conversation. This is Elon Musk having a conversation when he first bought Twitter with some engineers in a Spaces chat where they exposed the fact that he has no fucking idea what he's talking about when it comes to what the stack is. So I want you guys to listen to this conversation. You guys have probably heard this before, but I want you to listen. This is like, this dude is not a genius. I've told you guys this story before. I argued with my buddy for like the entire disc golf game we played, where I was like, he's a genius. He's really smart. My buddy who's in tech was like, no, he's not. He's a fucking idiot. And you're a fucking idiot for thinking he's smart. And I defended him over and over again. Dude, he's actually done it. He's like, no, he's not. He buys these companies. He takes them over. He has smart people that work for him. And those people make lots of good decisions and make lots of great products. And he takes credit for them. This is exactly what happens.
Just need to do a total rewrite of the whole thing.
Wait, seriously, a total rewrite. That's your prediction for velocity.
Yeah.
Well, when you say a total rewrite, do you mean starting with the skeleton, or a bunch of engineers sit down with a whiteboard and say, "What is Twitter"? Revolution or reform?
I just mean like literally like there's like you could either try to amend the crazy stack that exists, or
amend the crazy stack that exists. People that know something about building a website, not me, don't talk like that. That's like asking me something about grocery. Like, we're not making money. There's no profit coming in for the company. What do you think is the solution to creating a more profitable situation for the store? And I said to you, well, you just need to fire everybody. And you were like, fire everybody? Yeah, you need to fire everybody. Well, why do you think that we should fire everybody? Now, if I know what the fuck I'm talking about, I'm going to say, well, I've done my due diligence. I've looked into your labor numbers. I've looked into your waste. I've looked into your profitability. I can tell you that you're paying too much. Your buyers are not purchasing correctly. They're capping profit rather than capping sales. They're doing, all these different things. I'm going to have a much more complex description of what I think is wrong with the situation. I'm not going to go, I don't know, they just all suck. So, bro, just fire them. That's your store sucks because your shit's all fucked up. Like, it's idiocracy. People don't talk like that when they know something about the subject.
Amend the crazy stack that exists, or rewrite it.
But when you say crazy stack, what do you mean? Like, break it down.
Have you seen George's diagram?
No. I mean, like, what do you mean by crazy? No, seriously. Come on, buddy. Come on.
Who are you?
What do you mean, who am I? I don't know. You gave me the fucking mic. I got no.
I didn't give you the mic.
Whoa, I'm doing the mic, and let's keep it civil in my space.
I mean, yeah.
Like what? No, man. You're in charge of the servers and the programming, whatever. Like, what is the stack?
Keep things technical in my space, please.
Take me from top to bottom. What does the stack look like right now? What's so crazy about it? What's so abnormal about this stack versus every other large-scale system on the planet, buddy? Come on, give it to me.
All right. So first off,
amazing. Wow, you're a jackass.
Yeah, that's his answer. That's not a smart person. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that I ever fucking defended the guy. He's not a genius. And one of the things that I think people constantly misunderstand, I talked about this a little bit the other day about Curtis Yarvin. Curtis Yarvin is legit a person that went to, college at like 14 years old or 16 years old, mathematically incredibly intelligent. People make the mistake of thinking because somebody is good at one thing, that means they're good at everything. That's not true. Because somebody is ridiculously good at doing math does not mean that they're emotionally intelligent. Because somebody is ridiculously good at math does not mean that they should represent you in a court. Because somebody is ridiculously good at math doesn't mean they can fix your car. Because somebody is ridiculously good at fixing your car doesn't mean that they should represent you in a court of law. And that's what I think the issue is here. Is Elon Musk is very good at recognizing situations that can be profitable for him and making those purchases, coming in, taking over those companies, and taking credit for the things that they do. But he is not a super genius. He's just a guy that knows how to use capitalism to make himself $400 billion. That doesn't make you smart. That just makes you successful. And not all smart people are successful, and not all successful people are smart. Sorry, but that's the goddamn truth.
Robber Baron is interested in money,
Hold on,
bro.
I gotta say your name again.
He's got so much of it. He doesn't care about that.
Betelgeuse?
Joe, would you say the same thing about the mega wealthy robber baron, George Soros? Bro, Soros isn't plotting to take everybody's money, bro.
Oh,
I
hold
mean,
on.
he's got so...
Here you go. Add as moderator. There you go, 21st century. Share away, my friend. Sorry, I'm behind, but I think Elon is stealing the data in part to be able to punish anyone that opposes them or speaks out against them. Once again, power and authority. Yes, I agree with that. 100%. Unknown. 100%. You've never been able to post a link in chat? You should be so you probably can't @ me, fan. I don't think you can @ me and put the link in chat. What do I think of Trump's tariffs? This is from Lumperdumper64 on Twitch. What do I think of Trump's tariffs? I think that tariffs are a really bad idea in multitudes of ways. So when you talk about tariffs, you're talking about a couple different instances. The ones that Donald Trump is referencing is he's referencing the 1870 to 1913, which is, obviously right after the Civil War. And he's referencing a time where tariffs being applied is a completely different situation than 2025. But you can use another example of a time that we tried to impose tariffs to potentially make America's economy a lot stronger than it was or is. And that would be 1929. In 1929 or 1930, we had the Hawley-Smoot Act, which was originally called the American Tariff Act of 1930. Those tariffs ended really poorly for America, and that's because we caused a lot of chaos amongst the world's economy. We also legitimately helped bring about Hitler with those tariffs because we already were making Germany pay restitution, and then we tariffed them on top of that, causing an economic crisis over there that allowed the populace in Germany to be more easily brainwashed and led to believe that, just like we are right now with Donald Trump, that Hitler was going to actually lead them to some type of greatness, which obviously he actually did do great things for their economy, which came at the, cost of millions and millions of lives across the world. So tariffs are actually incredibly complicated, and it really depends on where you want to put them. So some tariffs on a really small way can actually be helpful. So tariffing China wasn't the worst possible thing for Donald Trump or Joe Biden to do. Joe Biden also had tariffs during his tenure. If you want to use tariffs correctly, then you should create infrastructure built within the country to make up for any type of loss or increasement of cost. So if you take something for example, we get tons of pine from Canada. If we tariff Canada for 25%, then we will pay 25% more on that pine. Therefore, housing costs will go up, construction costs will go up. You'll end up having this, once again, the same thing that happened during Donald Trump's administration. You'll have a lack of housing in America, as we are dealing with right now, because housing costs are really expensive. So is construction. So fixing your house also costs a lot. Another example is auto parts. Auto parts, a lot of our 62% of all our auto parts come from Canada, give or take. I don't know if that's exactly accurate. But those auto parts, when they come over here, if they're tariffed at 25%, now you're putting, car manufacturers at stake. So if you really wanted to do tariffs, what you would do is exactly what Joe Biden did with the Chips and Science Act. And that's, you do it over about a decade. In other words, not within your own tenure, which Donald Trump fucking hates. So you would say to yourself, okay, I want to bring semiconductor production back to America because we don't want to constantly be at risk of Taiwan being invaded by China and losing access to 90% of all the semiconductors that we use in AI or we use in supercomputers. So you would say to yourself, what we're going to do is we're going to start building manufacturing sites. We're going to start building big buildings that are specially made to produce these semiconductors. We're going to start training people through college and through grants. We're going to get people involved. We're going to give them great paying jobs. We're going to get people to be a part of the situation. Then you would tariff. Once you got to a place where you could produce those semiconductors, you would tariff to the fucking nines a place like China or Taiwan, so that way that manufacturing would stay in America. The problem with Trump's tariffs, as oftentimes are the problem with everything that Trump does, is Trump wants to be the person that ends up being the person that gets all the credit for it. And you can't do tariffs in that manner, because tariffs in that manner are going to have a very short-term benefit and a very long-term effect negatively on America. Hope that answers your question. Don't just tariff anyone. It's destroying our economy and Canada's economy. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we agree. I just gave you a much longer form explanation of it. I think tariffs are bad. The only way that you should ever tariff anybody is if you think that you can bring back that manufacturing to America in a really consistent manner, in a way that does not have chaos and confusion and lack of goods and stuff. The tariffs that Donald Trump is currently putting on America are, I mean, when I say when he's putting them on America, I mean he's putting them on our allies, but we are going to pay the cost, right? So if you're going to put tariffs on Canada, then we're going to pay more for auto parts. We're going to pay more for pine. We're going to pay more for energy. We actually get a lot of our energy from Canada. If you're going to put tariffs on China, you're going to pay more for electric vehicles that come from China. If you're going to put tariffs on, let's say, Japan, or you're going to put tariffs on Taiwan, you're going to pay more for semiconductors. If you're going to pay, we're going to pay more for electronics from China. You're going to pay more for iPhones and Apple products. Tariffs on anybody, allies and enemies as well, because we actually still participate with our enemies in the global economy, in trade, negatively impact Americans as a whole, and they're going to be really bad for America, specifically because if you were going to institute tariffs, then it should be a long-term plan, not a short-term plan, and Trump's fucking that up, because he fucks everything up, because he's a moron. You sent a link to me on Discord, fan? Okay, so, well, Suffragettes just asked for my Discord, so here, we'll pop it up again. Oh, thank you for the $1.99, Nina. Appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, you sent it to me? How do I say yes to you being my friend? Okay, there you go. Here, we're friends now. We're friends now, fan. Friends for life, bro. It doesn't go away now. How long is that video?
A number of people.
It's a little too long to play today. How about we do a special one? That way I don't get off track. I'll talk about that for sure, fan. But let's do it on a day where I actually am going to talk about it and not just fucking right now I'm pretty tired. Let's because that's a 15-minute. If it's a 15-minute video, I'm going to turn it into an hour and a half. You know that, right? So, I was supposed to give somebody the Discord. See, I am very tired. Okay. Have all this new tech stuff going on over here and all this stuff. How do you guys like the background? For those of you that weren't here at the beginning, how do you guys like the new background? Here, let's let's. Okay, here we go. And this. That is my Discord. That is my Discord right there. Oh, Nightbot just shared it too. God damn it. I have the link to that. We'll make a special show just for that, fan. Okay. And we'll all fight about it. Okay. We'll all fight. We'll have lots of fighting. Yeah, let's end it right about here. If you guys got anything else to ask me while I'm on here, I'm happy to answer anything else. Tariffs are bad. Tariffs can be good in certain situations, I guess, is my short answer that I probably should have said from the fucking very beginning, but I like to expound on all the things. I like to show you guys that I know things, okay? That's what I like to do. I like to show you guys that when I say something, I love the Kyle Kulinski face right now. Kyle Kulinski's face, you guys can't see it, but it's amazing. Let's pop back over there one more time so you guys can see this. Boom. That Kyle Kulinski face is amazing. Sorry, Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. Here we go, back over here. For those of you that weren't here at the beginning, what do you guys think? You guys like this? How's this looking? I'm supposed to be over here. Got all my books. I feel good around the books. I like books. I like big books, and I cannot lie. Okay? All right. If you guys don't have anything else to ask me, we're gonna stop right about here. Some didn't see Musk kids cuss Trump out. I have a short for that coming out in about 5 minutes. The camera keeps on focusing. I know, Manic. I'll work on it. I will totally work on it. You like it? Better and more personal? Awesome. Cool. I'm glad you guys like it. My wife told me to do it. All the things that happen feng shui wise and changing of like how I do things is generally my wife telling me to do it. So everybody say thank you to my wife. Thanks, Oxford. Appreciate you. So yeah, you guys know, like, sometimes I go off the rails and want to like talk about serious things, and I appreciate you guys hanging out for that. I've tried to do a better job of making the channel what I wanted it to be from the beginning, and that is me making jokes and making fun of things and having a good time and laughing. But sometimes that doesn't work out. Sometimes it ends up being the other side of me, and that's the what I would like to call the intellectual side of me, but I don't have a big enough ego to call it that. So it's the much more smarter portion of me. I like to talk about things. I think I've said this before, but maybe I haven't. I wish that there was a type of show that was more about solutions. I wish that there was, like, instead of debate, like a show like called like The Agreement or something like that, and like a show where you have to like start from a position of agreement, like you both disagree with something, but you have to start from a position of agreement and then work your way back from that. And like, you know, like that way you like have to start, because I hate debate. I can't stand debate. I think that it's fucking just people jerking themselves off to their own opinions. I think conversation is actually much harder than debate, because in debate you can be really bad face and just be an asshole and just like say bad things, you know, like just fucking for clicks and views and shit. And it would be really cool if we actually had like more conversations where two people disagreed but wanted to come to some sort of agreement. So I don't know. We'll think about trying to do that. But that's the other side of me. The other side of me is the person that likes to think about that kind of shit. Yeah. So bookcases are the new black. Oh Jesus. I agree. That's their problem. And we're back on what would. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, let's see. I put out a short this morning. I don't like shorts, but I did it anyways because I know that some of you guys like the shorts. So I put out a couple shorts, one this morning, one coming out in 4 minutes, 8 o'clock, the other short. But if you guys have seen my video that came out recently about Elon Musk's kid fucking roasting Trump live and in color, that's what the short is. So you probably don't need to watch it. I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button on it anyways and dropped a comment if you guys could. I fucking love you guys. Remember, if you want to support me, you can join the Angry Ginger Army for only $3 a day, or $3 a month, not $3 a day. That would be dope, though. I'd make a lot of money. For only $3 a month or 10 cents a day, you can join the Angry Ginger Army. It's more entertaining than Netflix, and it's cheaper. You can click the join button underneath the video. That's how you join the Angry Ginger Army. Other than that, if you want to super chat, I don't mind super chats. I appreciate when you guys do that. Just so you guys know, I do prefer that you guys give out memberships to people, because that actually gives people something. Makes them feel like they're part of the community, and I get the same cut either way. So if you guys want me to answer a question, just at me, and I generally will answer it without any money being necessary. And if you want to give me money, then the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to give people memberships, because it's really cool for other people too. So that's my preferred on that. Let's see. Next podcast is going to be Tuesday. I'm going to do a podcast with Leah Rothstein. We're going to talk about housing and discrimination and segregation and some other things that she's an expert on. She writes books. We're going to do that podcast, and then that'll be released within a week or two. And then Wednesday will be the next live stream at 5 p.m. Pacific. And that will, of course, be politics. Glockwork Orange. I love that name. Glock 17 in the house. You came at the very end. Thanks for joining, though. The more of you guys that chat on Twitch, the closer I get to actually being able to monetize over there. So thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. As always. Well, fuck. You guys know I love you guys. You guys know that I'm so thankful every time you guys come on here and listen to me talk my shit. Listen to me fucking, drone on and ramble and rant and work things through my head. So I can't say thank you enough. Fucking love you guys. Appreciate you so much. All right, guys. I hope to see you guys on Wednesday.